and it was so cool. It was just like right in the middle of the mountain. You look out, it's just a huge mountain range. Claptone was just playing and everybody's just hanging out, having a good time. And then these circus performers started coming out, and there was a guy like breathing these huge balls of fire.
You're in the French Alps on a mountain. It's super cold. Everyone's drinking and having fun, and we're just like watching Claptone, like one of our favorite DJs, like on a mountain.
Yeah.
With these fire breathers. Like, what is life?
Yeah,
like every 5 minutes we were like, dude, is this even real? Hey everybody, welcome to episode 116 of the Andrew Deitsch podcast. If you're new here, thanks for checking it out. If you don't know already, the show is all about having amazing conversations with the most fascinating people that I know. And it's been a while since I've posted, but trust me, I've been thinking about the podcast so much. And really over the break, I've been able to consider where I want to go with the podcast, what kind of guests I want to have and everything. But this episode was actually recorded right after I got back from a really big trip that I took a few weeks ago to France and to Dubai with my brother. And that's my guest today. My guest today is my brother, Matthew Deitsch. But before I jump into the episode, wanted to mention that this episode has been produced by Eyes Ahead Media. All of the future episodes of the Andrew Deitsch podcast are being produced by Eyes Ahead Media and their team. I'm also the founder of Eyes Ahead Media, but I'm talking about it in the third person because from now on, I'm stepping away from the production side of the podcast and really focusing on just being a host, being a better, interviewer, finding guests, all that kind of stuff, and I can focus less on actually producing and editing the episodes, and I can just be a better host of the podcast, which is really exciting for me. But if you need any video work or anything like that, Eyes Ahead Media is taking on long-term video clients. So if you're in need of a consistent video strategy, video is obviously the number one way to grow your audience, to capture people's attention, and really improve your perception online. So check out eyesaheadmedia.com for more. But now let's jump into the episode. Like I said, my brother is my guest today. He's been on the podcast multiple times. We always talk about our amazing travels all over the world. And this time we talked about our travels from this year forward. We've already been to a bunch of different countries, bunch of different places. And I recorded this episode a few weeks ago, like literally right after we got back from our trip so that the episode would be fresh, or so that the trip would be fresh in our minds. And I honestly don't even remember exactly all that we talked about. I had pink eye. We were both really tired. So if this episode is terrible, forgive me, but I'm really, really excited for you guys to hear all of our amazing stories. We had an incredible time out there. So without any further ado, please enjoy episode 116 with Matthew Deitsch. Matthew, what's up?
What up?
So you just went on a pretty awesome trip, huh?
Yeah, I think you went on one too.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It's pretty clutch. Already dropping stuff. So Matthew, you've been a guest on the podcast how many times?
Twice.
Well, this is your third.
Yeah, third time. You said how many times? It's been 2.
Well, you're counting this one. You're on it right now.
Yeah, so it's 3 now.
Yeah.
But it was 2, like literally 30 seconds ago.
True.
But this is the first time in the studio.
That's true. That's very true. We recorded it on video last time, but we were in our living room, so.
Yeah, it's a little more official.
Just a tad bit more official. How do you feel in the new studio?
I feel very acousticized.
That is a word. Okay, so Matthew, I want to talk about our last trip, but also like the last time we left everybody was our summer trip. So I feel like we need to catch everybody up on our trips that we've done in 2019 because we've already gone on like 4 trips or something.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah. So
or 5. You could say 5 if you include Arizona.
Yeah, that's true. I was including Arizona. Wait, what are the
Hawaii
5?
And
okay, tell everyone, just give a quick recap. What were the 5?
So we went Arizona, LA, then Hawaii, then back to LA, and then home. And then we went to Mexico City for EDC Mexico. And then we just got back from Tomorrowland Winter in beautiful Alpe d'Huez, France. And then from there we went to Dubai. And then from Dubai back home.
Nice. A lot of trips.
Yeah.
So First of all,
gonna hit that medallion status on Delta.
dude, hopefully. So, yeah, we've only been in Atlanta I've only been in Atlanta for like 40 days.
You were in LA for 2 more weeks than I was.
Yeah, that's true. But let's talk about Arizona first. So we went to Decadence in Arizona, which is a music festival for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Excuse me. What do you think of Arizona?
Arizona's beautiful. Like, it's just a desert, and it's crazy how at night there's like no lights. Like on the street, we were just driving and you could see all the stars. It was cool.
Yeah, we were
I've never
close to
really been to a
Phoenix.
desert like that, I think. But now this year I've been to 2.
That's true. Yeah,
Because Colorado is kind of rocky. You got like mountains everywhere versus that part of Arizona was pretty flat. There was like one little mountain, but it wasn't enormous like it was when we were in Colorado.
yeah, it was pretty deserty for sure. It was pretty deserted. And then the festival itself, it was like at night. Mm-hmm. So we would like go there at night.
Yeah, and it was kind of cold.
Yeah, it was actually. I forget. Did it end? What time did the festival end?
Like 2.
Oh, okay. Because I remember we were always driving there at night. Like we always got there at night and then we left
it
at
started
night.
at night.
Yeah, so it was kind of like a night festival, but it was pretty fire lineup. We saw Skrillex.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah, Skrillex's set
We've seen
there was
Skrillex
amazing.
twice this year already.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Haven't seen Skrillex in like years and then saw him twice in like 2 months. But yeah, Skrillex is like one of our number one people. If you like Skrillex, you should go listen to the episode that I did with Lisa Marie Poso. She used to be Skrillex's assistant. Pretty sick.
Yeah, Lisa's cool.
Lisa's the best. I like Lisa. And I feel, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry about your lip. She had like Kybella or something, and she got like nerve damage. And so like one of her lips like is totally fucked up right now. It like doesn't move right, and she like smiles weird. But apparently it's not permanent, so we can kind of joke about it. But yeah, if it was permanent, I'd feel really bad. But I think it's a semi-permanent thing. So, but anyways,
shout out Lit Lisa.
Yeah, shout out to Lit Lisa. But Decadence, Arizona, we snuck into VIP.
Oh yeah,
quite a few times. We saw Skrillex in the VIP, which was nuts. We snuck into the VIP. It's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah. I thought you were saying that like Skrillex is in the VIP with us. I was like, no, he wasn't. No, but yeah,
I just started making up stories
Skrillex on the stage from VIP.
Yeah, I just started making up stories. Like, yeah,
really was not all that glamorous. It was just the section right next to the normal,
but it was less crowded. We had room to dance. Whereas
that was the thing about that festival. It was so packed.
Yeah, because there was basically 2 main stages, and when Skrillex came on, like pretty much everyone went to the one tent.
Decadence wouldn't do it again. Unless the lineup's like ridiculous.
Yeah, but dude, Anti Up was sick.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Anti Up, which is Chris Lake and Chris Lorenzo, right?
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, they're amazing separate and also together.
Yeah.
Like, they're sick. But if you're not into EDM, then you're probably just like lost in this convo. But in general, Decadence was pretty awesome. I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to go again unless the lineup was fire, which is like the opposite of Tomorrowland. Like Tomorrowland is one of those festivals where like I will go and I don't even care about the lineup. Like I'm literally looking at the lineup like on the plane ride there because I don't even know who's on it. But Decadence is like we only went there because we knew the lineup was good. And also we went to Decadence, Arizona. The main Decadence is in Colorado, and we just like...
And really the only reason why we bought the tickets was because we were literally outside the Coliseum and you were like, dude, Skrillex is playing Decadence, Arizona, and the tickets just went on sale.
I forgot about that. We were literally outside of the Coliseum in Rome when we bought those tickets. I forgot
and it
about
was
that.
like
That was funny.
They're gonna sell out, and we got like 2 tickets on the lower price tier.
We bought 2 tickets on the lower price, and then like 5 minutes later, we should buy 2 more, and then it went up in price a little.
And then
bit.
like 5 minutes later, it went up even more. Like it was selling fast. So
and it was crazy because they announced like 3 headliners. They announced like Eric Prydz, someone else,
Porter Robinson.
Oh, Porter Robinson. Did we see him there?
Yeah.
Which stage did he play at?
Dude, remember that was when that girl was like, she turned around and was like,
oh yeah, we were in the very, very, very back, and that girl that was like tripping on some kind of drugs.
Gosh.
That was hilarious. I forgot about that. Dude, so for people that are listening, so we were standing in the back of the crowd, and this girl, she was pretty hot. Like she was pretty she was one of sometimes when you're like around, you're just like in a crowd and you see like an attractive person that's like significantly more attractive than everyone else. Like everyone's mood kind of changes a little bit. Like everyone's kind of like, oh shit, like what's going on over here? Like, looking at this girl, and then all of a sudden like something happens and she like the lasers come on and she's wearing those like dumb glasses where it like whoa, it's so trippy.
Yeah, the kaleidoscope
goggles or whatever. Like, they're cool, but, like, once you've seen it once, you've seen it a million times, kind of, Like, it's like, oh, whoa, I'm doing acid. Like, this is crazy. Yeah. But this girl turns around, and if you're watching the video podcast, she literally was like, like, stuck her tongue out, made, like, the dumbest looking face.
And we both just look at each other and start cracking up.
Everyone in the general vicinity was dying laughing looking at this girl. Because she turned around backwards to look at the lasers, which meant she was looking directly at us. But because she was wearing those dumb goggles, she had no idea that we were just straight up laughing at her face. It was so funny. Yeah. It was so funny.
And you couldn't help to laugh.
Everyone was cracking up. And this girl was definitely on some sort of intoxicant. I don't know what type of drug she was partaking in, but it was like pretty obvious that she was on some. And basically, it was really, really funny. But Decadence was pretty awesome. It was really cold the first night, surprisingly. Like we were thinking, oh, Arizona is going to be really hot. It's like a desert. Yeah. But like deserts get cold at night, and like it was a night festival, so it got like pretty warm.
Yeah, we were thinking pretty cold. Our Airbnb has a pool.
We had the sickest Airbnb.
Yeah, that was dope.
Matthew found this like dope Airbnb. We had like a pool and a hot tub. Even though we could never figure out how to get the hot tub to actually get hot.
Yeah.
But we had like 3 bedrooms. And they tried to make us
pay. They were like, oh, it's $100 a week and you're only staying for 3 days, so you probably don't want to use it. And I was like, you can't just do it per day, but whatever.
Apparently I forgot how to drink water. If you're watching the video podcast.
I do that often as well.
Spilled water all over the front of myself. But
I too forget how to drink.
Yes, I forget how to drink. But anyways, Decadence, we stayed in that sick Airbnb. We were with Darius and Kyle. We were with like a bunch of people. It was a pretty awesome festival. But then after Decadence, we ended up taking a flight to LA for like 4 days or something. 3 days maybe? 2 days? 3 days?
It felt like a while.
Maybe it was like 6 days.
I think it was like 5 days.
Maybe it was, because I remember Ashlyn, like I was initially like, yo, can we crash on your couch? Yeah. But then we were like, it's going to be like 6 days. And I was like, yeah, never mind. We'll just get an Airbnb.
We ended up getting like, the location on our Airbnb was dope for the price. It was like, you could bird to the Venice Beach boardwalk in like 4 minutes. But literally this place was like a straight up shed that they had converted into a living space. Like
it was in someone's backyard. Like imagine if you built a shed in your well, like it was more than a shed, but it was like imagine if you built a little house in your backyard and then split it into like 3 different little apartments.
No, dude, that place had 6 different Airbnbs you could rent out in one property. It was like a house. There was like the main house, then there was like 2 side houses. Then in our little shed area, there was like 2 sheds, and then there was one area above us that they had built. There was a loft.
Yeah, that was nutty. I wonder how much money they make.
Dude, probably so much.
Yeah. Like literally it was such a dope like location. Like as far as being in Venice Beach. Like you couldn't like honestly for the price it was amazing.
I think it was like $50 a night.
Really?
Which is like dude,
it's like nothing. We had a 1 bed. It was like a double bed.
Literally we could just walk outside every day and there was a bird sitting right outside.
We didn't really have a kitchen, but it was like a little kitchenette. It was like a coffee maker and like a microwave or something, and like a fridge where we could like put sub sandwiches and get water spilled all over them. Didn't that happen? Or was that somewhere else? I thought it was didn't one day your sandwich like get soaked in water or something?
Yeah, I think we left the door of the fridge open and all the ice up top melted or something. I don't remember.
What it was. The freezer melted and it like soaked a Subway sandwich or something.
Yeah, but
dude, LA is expensive.
Yeah,
like we spent a lot of money like on like
but you eating kind of do it cheap. Like that one, we had like a cheap Mexican restaurant that was pretty cheap.
Mm-hmm. Dude, my cup is like leaking. I swear.
Does it have a seal on it?
Yeah, it does. I don't know. I'm like spilling on myself.
I hate that.
Yeah, this is dumb. I'm taking this lid off. Anyways, Andrew Deitsch podcast cups prototype 1.
Next time go with the real Yetis.
Yeah, I know, right? It was because the dude gave me a good deal on these. They're like etched. If you're looking on the video podcast, they're actually Andrew Deitsch podcast cups, like engraved. They're pretty sick.
Yeah, but anyway.
But anyways, yeah, LA is really cool.
Yeah, we didn't really do much. We just kind of hung out. Went to the Comedy Store like twice. That was sick.
Yeah, saw
Comedy
Chris
Store is
D'Elia.
awesome.
Saw Chris D'Elia, Joe Rogan, Joey Diaz. Well, you didn't see Joey Diaz.
I didn't see Joey or
who did you see?
Joe. Saw Andrew Santino, Chris D'Elia. I can't remember if Brian Callen was there. Did you see
No,
Brian
I never
Callen?
saw Brian Callen.
Okay.
I really wanted to see him. I saw Theo Von. Did you see Theo?
No.
Oh, man, he's funny. Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't even really know who he was till we watched that episode of Hot Wings last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he's hilarious.
He's funny, man. Theo Von is hilarious. If you don't listen to his podcast or like watch his stand up or anything, he's funny.
I might have listened to one.
You
he
should
did with
see his
Joe,
episode.
Like a long
you should
time
see
ago.
the episodes of yeah, he's done one on Joe's podcast and he's also been on Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen's podcast. He's funny. He actually, fun fact for anyone that listens to all those podcasts, his podcast studio is right next to the Fighter and the Kids studio, so they like share a wall.
Oh yeah, I've heard him talk about that.
Yeah. So anyways, we went to the Comedy Store a bunch of times. Honestly, we just like rode up and down the boardwalk a lot and like explored the city and stuff a lot.
That's the best thing about birds. It's like the cheapest entertainment. You can just ride around an electric scooter for like $3 for 10 minutes.
Yeah, honestly, if you ever go to Venice Beach, it's like littered with birds and limes and all that stuff, but it is the most efficient and best way to get around.
Yep.
Like, it is so fun, and you can just get a bird for like $1. Dude, the Uber ones are clutch.
Yeah.
The Uber ones are so clutch because it was free to unlock.
Yeah.
And it was like 15 cents per minute. So if you got a crappy one, you didn't get stuck with it. Like with a bird, you unlock it, you've already paid $1, and you're like, this one sucks. Like the thing is broken.
Yeah.
And then you've got to go buy another one. Even though it's only $1, it's still annoying.
Yeah.
With the Uber one, like at least it's free. So if something messes up or whatever, like you can just get another one.
And I would be, sometimes I would like see how little I could spend on it. Sometimes it'd be like 36 cents to ride all the way to the boardwalk. I'd have it like out and ready to cancel like the second I got off on there just for fun.
Dude, Ashlyn like is a bird loyalist. She only rides
that's what she
birds.
told me.
Which is
So I was
hilarious.
like-
when we were there, I downloaded
I barely
all the
saw
apps.
any bird. Yeah, I know. I had all 4. I was like, you live here and you only have one? Like, I'm here for 3 days and have all of them, but
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever. That's just the type of
Can't judge
weirdos
'em.
we are. Can't judge
Yeah.
them. I respect
The worst
sticking with
ones, for anyone listening, the Lyft ones are the worst. They only go like 10 miles an hour versus all the other ones are like 14 or 16 or something. So
The Lyft ones are the worst. Ubers are pretty good. I still think birds...
I don't like the real brake. I like the electric brake.
No, dude, screw that.
Nah, dude, I hate the real brake.
Why?
It's just annoying. It's personal preference.
Why is it annoying?
It's just
You want me to tell you why the electric brake is annoying? Because
Why?
if you're going like 2 miles an hour, it doesn't even do anything. You have to stop with your feet. With the electric brake, if you squeeze it, it's like a mechanical brake, right? So no matter how slow you're going, if you're just at a standstill, you can hold that brake and you know you're not going anywhere. If you're at a standstill and you hold the electronic brake, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but it's not like you can just balance when you're going 0 miles an hour on a scooter.
Yeah, but at least like you can put some pressure on it. Like, you know how sometimes if you're on a scooter, like you want to put some pressure on it so then like as soon as it turns green, you can just press the accelerator and go. And you can push off.
Well, most of the time you're riding. I just think it's more convenient. When you have to go up to stop signs.
It's not
just,
accurate. You have like no accuracy.
Whatever,
with
bro.
it.
That's what you think.
No accuracy with it.
Okay.
No, like if you're like trying to do anything precision, it's just
All right, after this, we're doing an Instagram poll. Which is better, the electric brake
Here's the thing,
or
bro.
the mechanical
Here's
brake
the thing, bro.
on the
It's
bird
like
scooters?
it's like which is better, a Volvo or a Lamborghini? Like if you're like just a normal average person,
Yeah, 'cause that's
a Volvo
similar.
is gonna do you good. You got the electric brake. It's fine. It's easy. It's like an iPhone versus Android. It's like iPhone
yeah.
is like the easy route. You've got the like electric brake. You just it's so easy to push with your thumb. You just flip them back and forth. And then it's like, nah, bro. I want that precision. I want to like maybe hit a curb and like jump off of it or something. I'm not like a mom riding this
Also,
bird.
guess what? Half the time you get the mechanical ones, they don't work.
I never had one not work. I had the electric ones not work on me a couple times.
The electric ones always work for me. So
I don't know, man. Either way, if you're out there, tweet me at it. I'm just kidding, but go on Instagram and tell us if you have a preference. Either way, but LA was pretty dope. What did we do after LA?
we went to Hawaii.
Went to Hawaii. We so full disclosure, our parents planned a trip to Hawaii, and we were like, well, we're gonna obviously they invited us. We're going on a family trip to Hawaii. It was like our Christmas. It was like our Christmas present.
Our family usually tries to take like one vacation a year.
We're taking more than that recently.
Yeah, but with Dad coming up with his surgery, it was kind of like this is our one.
That's true. My dad just got knee surgery, so we knew he couldn't like do any like walking.
Yeah, so we wanted to go on like one last cool one. So we probably won't be like Dad can't even fly for 6 months because he can get blood clots or something.
Huh?
Yeah.
Ha! Gay? I'm just kidding. He's listening to this for sure. I'm just messing with you, Dad. But yeah, so basically, we went to Hawaii. We met our parents there, which was kind of trippy because it was like. It's like weird when you because normally when you go on family vacations, it's like all like a thing. You pack your bags and all this stuff.
We were like, oh shoot, we're going to Decadence. But then once we did the math, we were like, it'd be dumb to fly all the way back to Atlanta from Arizona. It'd be easier just to go to LA, stay there. And then I found one ways from LA to Honolulu for like $170 or something dirt cheap. So I was like, the price it would cost to fly home would literally be the same price to stay in an Airbnb in LA for 5 days. So why not do it?
Yeah. So literally we were like, instead of flying home, let's just hang out in LA for a while, which is super fun.
Yeah.
And then we flew to Honolulu, right? It's Honolulu?
Yeah.
Yeah. Flew into Honolulu.
Yeah, it was the
capital.
Honolulu. Or no, what's the island called?
I don't know.
The Big Island?
No, we didn't fly into the Big Island. We flew into the main one.
The island of Hawaii.
Yeah, it's just the island of Hawaii. Yeah, that's what it was. And then the capital, Honolulu, is on that island.
Yeah.
So basically, we were on the island of Hawaii, and we got there first, actually, before our parents. We beat our parents there. So we like tried to check into the hotel, but they like wouldn't let us because like it was under my dad's name or something.
Yeah, and we were just walking around like, wonder when we're going to see Mom and Dad. And then we just ran into them. It's like, oh, hey, fancy seeing you here.
No, we knew they were coming, right?
Well, we were trying to call them or something. And they were like telling us to come to the room.
Oh,
and then we walked downstairs. And then remember the kid got stuck in the elevator?
Oh, yeah. That was hilarious. There was like a kid that like lost his mom on accident because he got off
ran out of the
floor.
elevator like right before the doors closed. And he got separated from his mom and was like freaking out. It was kind of sad. But then the mom came back like 2 minutes later.
Yeah.
The kid was freaking out.
Yeah, he was like screaming. He was probably like 5 or something. Like he was really young. But anyways, so that was like kind of cool because we just like met our parents in Hawaii. Like that's kind of a random thing. Like, hey, what's up, Mom and Dad? Hanging out in Hawaii. So Hawaii was cool. What did we do there? We like honestly we kind of just hung out at the beach on the first island. Because we spent like 4 days on the island of Hawaii and then 4 days on the Big Island, right?
The first day we did that Pearl Harbor thing, remember?
Oh yeah, that was like
one of the days.
Kind of cool, but also kind of like.
No, it was cool to see Pearl Harbor, but I think the tour we just didn't realize how long it was going to be, and it was just like this guy driving us around, telling us like stuff.
Like here's the University of Hawaii, and it's kind of like yeah, cool.
No. This
scene is
where Hawaii 5. He would literally stop like every 10 minutes and be like, "Now, if you like Hawaii 5-0, this is where this scene was filmed." And all the old people are like, "Oh yeah!" I mean, they're just like, don't know what that is.
He would literally talk about Hawaii 5-0 probably every like 15 minutes. Like it was ridiculous. Oh yeah. Also, by the way, if anyone's watching this, I have pink eye. We'll get to that later.
I know. Now my eye's like itching.
I just thought of that because you were itching your eye. But dude, here's the other thing. There's a cat that lives here, and it's also pollen season. There's a lot of reasons why your eye could be itching.
Yeah, it hasn't been itching though this whole day.
Ah, well, maybe you should stop itching it.
Yeah. It's like really itchy.
Don't itch it, bro. Don't itch it.
Is it bad to itch it?
Yeah, I mean, you've probably got like stuff on your hands.
Yeah,
you should have washed your hands. Anyways, just resist the urge, bro. You're more powerful than the itch.
Mind over matter.
Exactly. So, yeah, the Big Island. We also went to like the far side of the island. We went and saw those like cool falls and stuff.
Yeah, the second tour with Kentucky. Yeah, we had this bus driver. His name was Kentucky. He was hilarious. That was like the coolest tour guide ever. He just kind of be like, "All right, folks, come on back into the bus now," and like. He'd just like drop us off on the side of the road.
He's like, "Oh, that's my uncle."
Yeah, he like knew everybody. We'd just be driving around the thing, and he'd like stop in the middle of the road, and there's like cars behind us. He'd be like, see that guy? Oh yeah, there's my uncle. And you start just like honking, and then you just
And then the guy would literally wave
the guy
back.
would literally
be like, oh, what's up,
three guys.
Kentucky?
Yeah.
And like it was like, dude, how do you know everyone on this freaking island? Like it was so funny. And then he'd be like, oh yeah, you know Jurassic Park? Film right there. And like it was really cool. We saw a
shout
lot
out
of cool
Kentucky.
stuff. Dude, Kentucky is the GOAT. Like literally, and we like went to this like random little island of all these food trucks and stuff. He's like, "Oh man, I'm gonna go get me some shrimp." And like he just like knew everything.
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
knew
what you got cooking up today?
And he knew all the workers. Like he just reaches into the cooler and grabs himself a Coke and like
Yeah, and they just knew him, like, because basically they've probably got a deal with this like little food truck area where he takes all his tours there, and they pay him a little bit of money because they're just gonna get business for it. But yeah, that dude was the GOAT. Like he knew everything. He took us to a lot of cool places. Honestly, that day we saw more stuff in that one day than like all the other days combined.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And we saw like the what is it called? The Stairway to Heaven. That was sick.
The best thing was how we went to the golf course, which are we pretty much done with?
Yeah,
nothing else that day.
Yeah.
So like the next day, or while we were on that tour, they took us to the golf course. And then I realized I'm like pretty big into golf. There was like a PGA Tour event going on. So me and my mom went the next day. They said online it was going to be like $20, but we show up and they're like, well, today it's free. So we're like, sweet.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it didn't cost anything. And then we walk in and like straight up on the putting green, Jordan Spieth's there, Justin Thomas is there, Bryson DeChambeau, like tons of famous golfers. The guy, Patrick Reed, everybody hates him.
Nice.
Yeah, the funny thing was Patrick Reed was just like walking like 5 feet away from me and mom, like on the fairway, and I'm like, this guy.
Why does everyone hate him?
Cause he's a douche. He totally cheated it. I forget what he did. It's like there's like a putter that's like really expensive by Scotty Cameron, and he at Auburn University. I forget what college he went to, but he like stole a bunch of them from the golf shop, and like he's just done a bunch of stuff. When he played at the Masters, his parents tried to come watch, and he told the security to kick him out.
What?
Yeah, dude, he's just a total like.
That's some douchey stuff right there.
He's the one that Bob Menery always does the like. If you ever seen somebody run this lame, and everybody calls him Patrick Reed because he's fat. But yeah, nobody likes him. But oh yeah, and then during like the Ryder Cup, which is where like you're paired up with somebody and you play for like Team USA versus I forget the other country. He was like crying because he didn't get to be like Jordan Spieth's partner, and he got with someone like he got all upset about it, and it was just because like Jordan Spieth I think doesn't like him. And he told the coach, he's just like, I don't want to play with him. Like, we don't get along. And he's like, I want to be with Jordan. Like,
that's hilarious.
He's just like that one kid in middle school that everyone's like, go away. But he won the Masters, so.
He won the Masters?
Yeah, he won it 2 years ago.
Patrick Reed?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even know that. That shows how much I pay attention.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Or no, I think he won it last year. He won the Masters last year.
Didn't watch.
Yeah. But anyway, so then we walk, and Bubba Watson was there too. So then me and my mom just see like Jordan and Bubba and, what's the other guy's name? Duffner. Go to the first tee. We follow him. It's like 7 people watching, and here we are like watching 4 of the top 50, like all of them have been
top 10.
All of them have been top 10 at one point. Most of them have won a major.
Why do you think it was so empty? Just because it's in Hawaii, it's hard to get to?
Yeah, and it's a practice round. Like, the people that live there are going to come on the tournament day probably, but I like to just see what they do to warm up, like what kind of drills they do on the range and stuff like that. But it was cool just following around because, like, it's like being on this like listening to this podcast. You're just like a fly on the wall. They're just like messing around. Like, Bubba Watson's always just doing dumb stuff. Like, he's like, let me see how far of a hook I can hit this and still get it on the green. Like, they're just messing around, having a good time. But then at the end, all these locals were just sitting there with like pictures of all of them from other golf tournaments trying to like sign them. Like, this one lady was instructing her kid like who was who, and he's like, to
get autographs to sell.
Like, that's Justin Thomas and that's Jordan Spieth. Go go get their autographs. They could sell it. It was on like a picture of them at the Masters shaking hands. Like and this one, like Justin Thomas got pissed off at this one dude because he just had a straight up spiral notebook, like a blank sheet of paper holding it landscape, asking him to sign it with a Sharpie, just so he could like then look at that and then go to a picture and like pretend to sign the same signature probably. And he's like, sorry, I'm only gonna sign things you buy here. And the guy like cut around and tried to get him to do it again. And then again, he's like, dude, no. And I was just kind of standing there. I'm like, I don't even want to be a part of this crowd. Like, I don't want to be, like all these people are just bugging him. And then it was very last minute. He ended up just walking right by me. And I was just like, hey, Justin, can I like get a picture? He's like, yeah, sure, man. And then like just started talking to me. And then at the end, pulls out this ball that he had in his pocket that was like autographed and had like a smiley face. And like I was the last person he talked to. So he probably keeps that in his pocket and he's just like, if there's someone cool, I'll give it to him. But if it's just people trying to get my autographs for money, like I'm not going to give it away. And then he just like gave it to me. But he was super cool.
Nice.
Super nice guy. A lot of people say he's like rude, but he was being rude to those people, but it was because they were
they just wanted his autograph.
Like all they care about is just getting his autograph, and people want to put him
think you
on
like
blast.
owe them something just because you're famous and you like interact with them. It's like, you owe me this picture. You're famous and I came up to you and I'm a fan, so I'm the reason why I pay your bills. You owe me this picture. And it's like, no, I don't.
Yeah, and also the other reason why I didn't want to go up to him was because like he definitely, the other cool thing was he definitely knew I was watching him because like, I was the only one, like me and mom, and then these other two people that were really annoying. It was like these two little girls. And every time you would get near Jordan Spieth, they literally had a whole bag of stuff and they just go, Jordan, autograph. And he's like, I've literally signed like 4 things for you guys. What else do you want me to sign? Like, it was just the weirdest thing. I'm just like, this is so disrespectful.
Yeah, it's like people who show up at the airport and try to get athletes to sign shit too.
Yeah, that
so
just makes
cheesy,
me like
hate
like TMZ and all that crap where they just go bombard celebrities. It's like,
yeah, it's
they
not
don't
cool.
deserve that. Like, they're just normal people. Like, seriously.
Yeah, it's not cool. Yeah, it was kind of like when we ran into San Holo. We'll talk about that later when we were at EDC Mexico. But it was like, I always want to approach like celebrities and famous people like I would want to be approached, you know? Like, I don't want to be bothered. Like, I don't even mind taking like I wouldn't mind like taking a picture and stuff like that. But like sometimes it's like, if someone walks up to you and all they want from you, they don't even want to talk to you because they don't even know what they would say. But they just are like,
they just
can
want
I get
the proof.
a picture? Can I get a picture?
And then brag.
They just want like Instagram clout, and that's it. Like it's just cringy and like annoying. It's not even cool. It's not cool. It's just, yeah. And like honestly, I'd rather like if I met like someone like, you know, Casey Neistat or something. He's like one of my, you know, top people that I would want to meet. Apparently he was in Atlanta like literally this weekend.
Huh.
He was running. Someone texted me and they're like, dude, Casey Neistat's in Buckhead. I just saw him running. It's pretty crazy.
Dang.
But anyways, shout out to Ace. Thanks for telling me that. I didn't ever end up going to stalk him.
I would never do that. Like,
yeah. We even like literally we tried to kind of do that when we went to New York. We never talked about that trip either, did we? Ha!
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Because literally we went to New York. So we'll backtrack a little bit. We went to New York. We tried to see Casey Neistat. We went to 368 where he like works and everything. But we like lingered a little bit trying to like see if he might pop around. But like that's like where he works and stuff. And it's like honestly really creepy to just like hang out, like waiting to like maybe meet him. Like it just felt weird, you know?
I feel like recently this past year, somehow we've like just ran into like a couple people that are like kind of higher influence. And it just makes you... Like after the first and second time, you're just like, they're just like normal people. I don't want to be annoying. Like,
yeah, especially.
I'd rather just have it for my own joy that I was just like struck up a conversation, said like, hey, I like your music, and then walked away.
Yeah.
Like maybe then if you ever saw him again, then they'd be like, oh, that was that guy that just said like, I like your music and walked away. Like he didn't care about getting my picture or anything. Like,
yeah, like I mean, I'll talk about it now. Like we went to EDC Mexico and San Holo was on our flight, and we ended up like sitting right next to him. But I've already met him before, and I actually have a picture with him from Tomorrowland from like a few years ago. So it's like, if I like ask for a picture with him, like number one, I already have a picture with him. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, you know, like what's my intent? My intent is probably gonna post on Instagram for likes. You know what I mean? Like that's like the final intention. But like really, I want to like get San Holo to like, you know, I want to like, you know, actually talk to him for a second. Like, you know, be cool with him. And like, I also tried to like ask him to be on my podcast when he comes back to Atlanta for Shaky Beats. He never actually ended up hitting me back, but like either way, like that's cool. But you know, it was just like a cool interaction, you know, and like I think people just forget that celebrities are like real people too, especially when they're like kind of middle tier celebrities. Like,
yeah.
It's like super cringy when you're just like going up to them like, oh my god, it's just like, dude, like that's so lame.
Yeah,
like that's some stupid, like it's just, they're normal. Like you can just talk to them. I mean, even if it's awkward, like the
funniest thing is when you do that to celebrities and the celebrities are like awkward as crap.
Dude, that happened to me when I was at the Comedy Store. So when I was in LA, well, number one, did I tell you how I saw Chris D'Elia and I go, Chris, and he's like, hey, what's up? And then he just like dipped. Did I tell you about that?
I think so.
So like me and Richard like went and sat down at this place. Oh yeah, I never like,
we haven't gotten there yet. We're still at Hawaii.
Oh yeah, sorry, lots of traveling. So anyways, when I was at the Comedy Store, Chris, me and Richard like get seated. And then like Chris like pops out of this like back area, like kind of like scanning the room looking for somebody. And then I just see him out of the corner of my eye and I just turn around and I go, and like without even thinking, I just go, Chris. And he's like, oh, what's up? And he like gave me like a little nod and like waved and then just like went back to like scanning the room and then just like ducked away. And I'm like, oh, that was crazy. Like it was just one of those things where I'm like, Chris, oh my gosh, it's Chris. And but I didn't like do anything. I didn't ask for a picture, like freak out. But he was definitely trying to like not be seen, and the room was definitely not like full yet. So, and then later I actually saw him talking to Theo Vaughn outside of the bathroom, and I like literally walked out of the bathroom and they were just standing right there, right in front of me talking, and I just froze and I just walked away. Like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't say anything. I was just like, oh my gosh, okay, bye. Like I didn't even say anything. I just was like, oh my god, that was crazy. Theo Vaughn, oh my god. And like the other thing was later that day, I saw this guy who I used to follow on Vine, who's like a comedian, and I saw him, and I was just waiting for Richard to get out of the bathroom, and he was standing right there, and I'm like, yo, Rydoon, right? And he's like, hey, what's up? Hi. And I'm just like, Ry, what's up, man? I used to follow you on Vine. And he's like, oh, cool, or something like that. And I was just like, yeah, man, your videos are really funny, thanks. And he was just like, follow me on Instagram, I guess. And it was so cringy. Like, it was like the awkwardest interaction I've ever had. And then one of his friends, like, overheard the conversation. He goes, Rydoon from Vine? Oh my gosh. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's me. And like, I didn't I was so gullible because I was just caught up in the moment. I'm like, oh yeah, you followed him too? And he was like, yeah, I did. And it was actually like one of his friends. And I'm just like, oh, this guy's making fun of me. But it was just really funny because I was just like, he was so awkward. Because I mean, what do you say to that? Like, thanks for watching.
Yeah, I'm that idiot that makes dumb 6-second clips.
Yeah, it's like, thanks for watching.
Not famous, and not rich.
Yeah, like literally not famous, not rich from it.
Just like people know me as being the dumb guy.
Yeah, it's like it's like one of those things where being famous is cool as long as it comes with money. But if you're like, I think we've
talked about this. If you're famous and you don't get anything out of it, that'd be the worst thing ever.
Yeah, you're like famous for being a dumb meme or something. Like that just sucks. But anyways,
yeah. But anyway, back to Hawaii. So after the golf tournament, that was super cool. Went back. Then we went to... The next day, we then flew to the Big Island, which was sick.
The Big Island is amazing. I would recommend, honestly, like, the Honolulu is, like, super touristy. The Big Island...
Yeah, don't stay in Honolulu.
No.
No, the other part of Honolulu would have been...
The other part of the island of Hawaii was cool. The, like, far side of the island, it was, like, less touristy. But we were in Waikiki Beach, which is, like, freaking touristy.
Yeah.
So, anyways, like, there's, like, yeah, it's just trashy, kind of. It's not trashy, but it's just very, like...
It's annoying when you go to, like,
like, very overdone. It's kind of, like, reminded me of the old area of Las Vegas that's just been, like, touristed the fuck out, and it's,
yeah, because, like, really... I leave America to leave America. Like, I don't want to just be around a bunch of them. Like, I like getting around new people and new cultures and trying new things.
Hawaii's part of America, bro.
I know, but it's like a little bit different.
It's a state.
Yeah, I know, but the people there aren't.
I know.
Like,
they're different, for sure. But the Big Island is amazing.
Yeah.
What did we do on the Big Island?
We kind of just... What did we do there?
Did we ride ATVs? No.
No.
Oh man, I wish we would have. What did we do? We like did a tour, didn't we, or something? We rented a car. We had a car this time. We like did a kind of like tour.
We did snorkeling.
We went snorkeling. That was dope. We saw a bunch of sea turtles, which was cool. Actually, I saw some sea turtles when we were snorkeling with Kentucky.
Thing was super cool.
Yeah, and we went to like a black sand beach, which was dope. Or we didn't go to it, but we saw one right from afar.
No, we went to it. The sand's not really like dark black though. Remember we laid down?
Oh yeah. The sand's not like black, but it looks kind of. It's just dark.
It's just dark, yeah.
Yeah, and I flew my drone a lot of places. We went to a lot of waterfalls. That was cool.
Yeah.
We hiked a lot. Like we hiked like a few waterfalls.
That one day that we took like the big road trip, that was the coolest.
Yeah. What else did we do on the Big Island? We like explored a little bit.
We really weren't there that long. It was only like 6 days, 3 and 3.
Yeah, I wish we would have spent more time on the Big Island, but either way, it was still really cool.
It was still an awesome trip.
Yeah. The waterfall day was probably my favorite day. We went and saw like a ton of waterfalls. That was sick. But yeah, so then our trip was over pretty much. I mean, we didn't once we left. And then our parents were like, "All right, I guess we'll see you back in Atlanta," cuz I was flying to LA to go shoot videos with Richard from Wheels to Walking. He was on episode 113 recently, I think. And we talked all about that. So if you want to hear about our trip to LA, you can hear all about that in that episode. But Matthew stayed with us for like one day.
Yeah.
And then he flew back.
It was mainly because I would have just gone on the connecting flight home to Atlanta, but it was like $200 cheaper to wait one day. So I was just like, can I just stay with y'all for the night? And we did.
It was fun. It was fun to have Matthew for that one extra day. Yeah, I'm tired, man. But you're probably even more tired.
Yeah. You were calling me a bitch for gonna be yawning.
I'm also like losing my voice right now. My throat is like super sore. But anyway, so after LA, you just came home.
Yeah, I just
worked
came home.
some.
Yeah.
I came home after my LA trip, and then we went to EDC Mexico. Right, that was our next trip. So we went to EDC Mexico. The main reason why we went there was honestly the lineup. Skrillex.
So cheap.
Super cheap, and the lineup was fire. Like honestly, the lineup for EDC Mexico, I think is better than the
Vegas
EDC
one.
Vegas lineup. Because for me, Skrillex weighs like super heavy anyways.
Yeah.
And then like most of the artists that I even cared about on the EDC Las Vegas lineup were also on EDC Mexico. Like Claude Von Stroke was on it, Will Clark, Green Velvet, Chris Lorenzo, Chris Lake. Even though they didn't perform as Anti-Up, which kind of sucks. Aren't they performing as Anti-Up at EDC Vegas? I think they are.
I don't know, probably.
And Chris Lake is playing 2 sets. He's like, Chris Lake presents Black Book, and then Chris Lake something else.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That might be a stage name. Like, do you think they're doing stage hosts at EDC Vegas?
Maybe. Sometimes they do that. And then they list it as an artist. It's so dumb. Like, Resistance. It's like, that's not an artist. But anyways, who else do we see there? Excision, dude, like come on. Yeah, and we also had just seen Excision the week before in Atlanta.
Yeah, and I mean it was like there was nobody there. Like pretty much everybody I like was there.
Honestly, and like who else played the main stage that one day? San Holo was there. I mean, I've seen him a lot of times. Yeah, like Rez. Who else was like dubstep? It was our Spaghetti.
Yeah.
Riot 10. Like, it was like a stacked lineup.
There were so many stages, too.
Salvatore Ganacci, we missed him, but he was there.
Yeah.
Like, it was nutty. And we stayed in this hotel that was like 5 seconds from the venue.
It was nice, too.
By the way, Ubers in Mexico City are dummy cheap.
Don't even dent.
Don't even dent.
Don't make a dent.
Don't make a fucking dent. So it literally, the Ubers in Mexico City were like $1 or $2 US.
Yeah.
Also in EDC,
like we could have walked to the venue, but when you can get an Uber for $1.
Okay, let's just talk about how cheap EDC Mexico was. How much were our flights?
The flights were expensive because I'm stupid and waited to buy them. So they ended up being like $400. I think. They were like $350 when I first looked, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'll book it, in a couple of days once I talked to Andrew about it. And then I kept putting it off, and I think it ended up reaching like $475 or $500
each.
Yeah.
Yeah, but But we paid what, $200 for VIP or something like that?
The VIP tickets are like $220 US. Like, that's cheaper than any festival normal admission at most festivals, and any festival's not that cheap.
And also, like, Mexico City is like, everyone there is really nice. And like really cool. Everyone was super chill.
That was the most fire continental breakfast we had at that hotel too.
It was pretty good. It was like mid-tier as far as like quality, but as far as like amount of food and like the variety, it was like pretty solid. It was like a Holiday Inn Express.
Food was all dirt cheap.
Food was literally stupid cheap.
We would literally just get Uber Eats because, like, if we would have gone,
we got all those greasy tacos.
Oh
my gosh, that was nasty. Also, I definitely had Montezuma's Revenge from that trip. Yeah, it was gnarly. But basically, we would get like Uber Eats because it was like, we got like Pizza Hut. Was it Pizza Hut?
Yeah, we got Pizza Hut.
And Wingstop. Those wings were gnarly though. They were not that good. They were kind of gross. But we got like a pizza for like $5 or something.
Yeah, it was like pizza and wings on Uber Eats for like
$12 or something total.
Like nothing.
It was stupid cheap. And so it's like people always like think, like, I want to address this later in like a more grand scale. But
let's talk about it at the end.
People think traveling is like so expensive, but it's like, that's only if you're doing like the bougiest traveling. Like, yeah, if you're staying in like a super nice hotel.
If you're going to Vegas, it's expensive.
Yeah, like if you're going to like touristy places.
Like if you ball out for a weekend in Vegas, that's the same price as it would be to like go to Europe for a week. Easy.
More than a week.
Yeah.
You know, like literally. And it's like you want, like EDC Mexico, it seems like, oh my gosh, that's probably so expensive because you're going to a totally different country. But it's like EDC Las Vegas is way more expensive than EDC Mexico. And the other thing, that misconception that we had, and that you had even more than me, was that it was going to be like small. Because also, you've never been to EDC at all.
No, that place was huge.
Yeah, it was
bigger than EDC Orlando for sure.
Yeah, and also EDC Orlando, though, this year they're expanding it to 3 days.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, I heard
EDC
that.
Mexico is only 2 days, right? But still, 2-day festival is still really cool.
Yeah, honestly, it was perfect.
It was so perfect. And honestly, like, the lineup was so good. And everyone was super nice. Honestly, very little drug use from what I could tell. Like, American festivals are way more drug use.
I was thinking, like, oh, Mexico, you know, you always hear they're bringing it, like, they're the ones, but, like, they don't get high on their own supply, like, I guess.
Well, not only that, it's, like, not to be, like, stereotypical, but, like, it's like a poorer city. Like, the city of Mexico City, like, it's pretty, like, low income. Like, there's millions and millions of people, terrible traffic, like, it's very, very low income. People are packed in like sardines. So the people that are attending EDC Mexico are primarily Mexicans that live in the city that are like literally, it's like their one time a year to like have this crazy party, and they see all these videos of like EDC
and it
in
is
America.
Like they put it on right.
They do. And like it's a really big scale, and like drinks are like super cheap. Like literally drinks for like a couple bucks.
Yeah.
Like normally alcoholic drinks at like EDC Las Vegas would be like $14, $15 a pop.
More than that, dude.
Probably like 20.
A mixed drink is like 20.
Yeah, and literally you could get like a Red Bull vodka at EDC Mexico for like $4.
Yeah.
It was dummy cheap. Literally next year we need to get a massive squad and have
They were really annoying and weird about it. They would pour one shot and make you mix the entire can with it.
Yeah, I think it's just because they don't want people to get like really wasted. I don't know.
Just like, I don't want to drink an entire Coke.
Yeah, that's
or
grody.
Sparkling water. Like,
yeah, honestly, our go-to drink was just like vodka and sparkling water.
Yeah, vodka soda.
Yeah, but yeah, EDC Mexico, amazing. There was also ramen guys walking around selling ramen.
Okay, yeah. Can we talk about that? Like, it was like you know at the baseball game how you got the guy that comes through like selling hot dogs and popcorn and cotton candy and stuff? They had that in the crowd. That was the coolest thing ever. Like,
it was clutch.
And beers. Like, imagine you're in the middle of the rave and you're like, who's gonna brave it out and go get another beer for all of us, or go get food.
But the crowds were good, dude. There was room to dance, like, at the front of the stage. Like, that was a good music festival. Like, people weren't crowding the front. I feel like that's such an amateur move when people crowd the front.
I feel like it's such an like, people don't take that into account. Like, that's a huge thing that I take into account when I want to go to a music festival. Like, is it going to be crowded at the stages? Because, like,
Ultra. Dude, like, Ultra main stage, like, oh my gosh, like, I'd rather not go, like, literally, and especially with what's been happening with Ultra this past weekend, like, G's.
Yeah.
I am not jealous of people going to Ultra. The funny thing to me, I was literally about to post the status today on Facebook. It was like the people that complained to me about like, dude, how do you have the money to go to Tomorrowland Winter and Tomorrowland Belgium are the same exact people that are at Ultra right now.
Yeah.
Spending unnecessary amounts of money in Miami.
Going to day clubs, getting bottle service.
Oh my gosh. Not even bottle service, just going to day clubs and like spending like $50 to like go to a day club. It's like,
yeah.
you know, to see like Oliver Heldens or something. It's like, I mean, that's cool. It's fun, but it's like, you could also spend $50 and go to like something doper in like Dubai.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
And especially if it's like, oh, I've been wanting to go to Tomorrowland, and this is like their 4th or 5th year going to Ultra, you know?
Or they go to like SMF Tampa, Electric Forest, Okeechobee.
And not to like hate on those or anything.
No, those are great festivals, but it's like if that's really on your bucket list, like if you really actually want to go to some of these like higher tier festivals, like you need to figure out your shit and like make it like what's your priority? Is your priority like going to every single local show that's like in town? Or is it like, you know, actually going to something epic and like crossing something amazing off your bucket list? Like, would you rather like drink every weekend like at the bar with your friends and like shoot the shit and like smoke weed? Or would you rather like save that money and like go on an epic ballin' trip? Like, it's your choice, but people don't realize that that's the choice they're making.
Yeah.
But anyways,
sure.
So let's go back to EDC Mexico. So EDC Mexico, super cheap. Really good food, actually. The food is like pretty fire. Like everywhere we went, tons of Mexican food, of course. You're in Mexico, lots of tacos, stuff like that. But pesos to American dollars.
Yo, how about that food that was in the VIP thing? That was amazing.
Yeah.
We had like those tacos and then
tacos El Pastor or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
We would get those a lot. Yeah, it was super dank. And then they had that like, oh, what did we get? That hot dog? It was like a loaded hot dog that had
like cheesy bacon bite things. Oh, those are good.
Yeah, they had like tots with like bacon and cheese or something. Yeah, that was gnarly.
Dank.
And then on top of that, they had a golf cart service in the VIP that would take you from main stage to main stage. It would take you from circuit grounds to the main stage. So the two biggest stages. You could literally, if there was like an artist that you wanted to see, normally it'd be like a 15, 20-minute walk. Or you could get a golf cart and they would drive you to the other stage and drop you off in the VIP section of the other stage.
Yeah.
It was the most clutch thing ever. I've never seen that at a festival. And I heard Lollapalooza has that, but like more festivals definitely need to implement that. That is clutch.
Yeah, because it's like, there's always like a back way that's way quicker. It should just be like, go to VIP to VIP. It shouldn't be like, oh, I have to go out and then get through all the crowds. I hate it when you have to like mangle through a giant crowd just to get to the entrance of it. It's like, this is dumb. I shouldn't have to do that. But anyway.
Exactly. But yeah, so both days were pretty epic, pretty stacked lineup both days. Lots of good mixture of music too. Like I was very surprised by and like tons of like dubstep, tons of house music, tons of main stage stuff to entertain.
Was there hardstyle?
Yeah, I think there was at Wastelands the second day. I think there was a lot of hardstyle. I didn't go. I remember like overhearing it and being like, I remember we were on the Ferris wheel and we could hear the hardstyle from like the circuit ground stage. It was like
God, I love hardstyle.
Yeah, I forget who was playing it, but we were like, cool. But sick hardstyle. But anyways. EDC Mexico, highly recommend. Like as far as like Decadence, Arizona, EDC Mexico, like EDC Mexico, way better. Like extremely way better as far as festivals go. And I think next year we should get like that is a festival I would definitely go back to.
Yeah.
But I want a big squad next year. Like I want like a fun, awesome group of people to go with next year. Because it was literally just me and Matthew. Like we met some people there on the second day. But the first day we like didn't really meet anybody.
Before we left, like I had some really bad tonsillitis.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so like my throat was really hurting. That's why we kind of went in late the first day because I was just like, dude, I don't feel good.
Well, also we like explored the city too. Remember?
Yeah.
We were like going around. We tried to like meet up with Will Clark and all that.
Yeah.
Or was that the second day? The second day we tried to meet up.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the second
day. The first day though, we were like
anyway.
Walking around the city and stuff and like exploring a little bit. We went to the Ausla pop-up the first day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, Or no, that was the second day we went to the Ausla.
Yeah.
But we were
Second
too
day.
sick to go to that pre-party, which I wish we would have gone to, that Ausla party.
Yeah,
But we were honestly so, like, I regret it only for the sake that, like, I missed seeing Skrillex at a tiny club. And, like, that's one of my biggest, like, bucket list, like, things.
Yeah,
to
I
see
was,
Skrillex
like,
in, like,
so
a tiny
achy.
environment. But we were so tired from traveling and, like, we were just done. And we were like, should we go out?
And we were like editing videos and doing like work too.
Yeah, we were actually working, which is, you know, we were trying to get this podcast out, which was, I can't remember which episode it was. Which one was it? I don't know, but it doesn't matter. Was it the one with, no, I'm trying to think of who it was, because we were like editing it on the plane.
Was it Mr. Steele?
No, it was later. I don't know.
Remember. Whatever.
Doesn't matter. But either way, it was an awesome festival. We had a great time, and it was super cheap. Like, we didn't spend that crazy amount of money, and we only went for a weekend. Like, we didn't do anything else. We didn't tack on any other stuff to our trip.
Yeah, we literally just went to the festival and then went home.
Which was kind of nice.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah. It was like casual. Like, oh, where'd you go this weekend? Mexico. Like, it was like...
Yeah, like it was literally like 3 days.
Yeah, very casual.
But then we just kind of chilled.
Chilled for a little bit.
2 weeks.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 weeks. And then... No, it was like 2 weeks, literally, wasn't it?
Shout out to my boss for not firing me.
Yeah, pretty much. And then...
I don't know, that's still a thing. But
yeah, but they like you.
Yeah.
And then basically we were gearing up for Tomorrowland Winter, which was basically
The
the
best
sickest festival
thing ever.
Ever. Literally, like, can't think of anything like more unique or crazy than that. So let's back it up a little bit just to educate people a little bit. So Tomorrowland is a music festival in Belgium that me and Matthew have gone to a few times. Matthew, you've gone to it
Twice.
twice.
3 times.
Three
4
ti-
with Tomorrow World.
You went to Tomorrow World?
No, I said 4 if you're counting Tomorrow World.
Yeah, well, I've gone to Tomorrow World and Tomorrowland 3 times, so 4. But we also went to both weekends last year, so
Yeah.
it's like,
That doesn't count though.
yeah. But anyways, here, explain Tomorrowland, because my voice is like honestly hurting.
So basically, it's a
I need my other
music festival in like a resort, like a ski resort area called Alpe d'Huez
in the French Alps.
And this place is probably like the most beautiful place of.
No, I was saying explain Tomorrowland Belgium and then explain how Tomorrowland Winter happened.
Oh, so basically Tomorrowland is like probably the best festival in the world, arguably. And I think this is what, the 15th year?
Yeah.
And
Why is it so epic though?
what?
Why is it so epic though? Like why is it like so legendary? You know, because like people talk about like Ultra or like whatever.
It's just the best. Like, they put it on so well. Like, everything is just, the logistics of everything are just buttery smooth. I mean, the only, like, there's very little you could do better. And
They have like 17 stages.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's like Disney World for adults.
Yeah, it really is. The decoration, I mean, it's just extra. And it's just, words can't describe it.
Yeah, it's the best music festival in the world, like hands down. And they've always tried to do expansions in other parts of the world. Like they did Tomorrow World, which is actually in Atlanta. They did Tomorrowland Brazil, which failed after only 1 year. And now they've just resorted, like, they're like, well, none of these are working anymore. We're just going to do 2 weekends of Tomorrowland. So, like, Tomorrowland Belgium, they've just been doing, like, 2 weekends every year. And then this year, they decided that they wanted to do a winter edition.
Yeah.
So what did they... So you already kind of explained it, but what did they do?
Yeah, so like I said, it's in the French Alps, and like when we showed up there, it's so beautiful there. But I mean, first of all, we flew into Amsterdam, and then from Amsterdam we flew to Lyon, and then from there we met up with Chad and rented a car. And we actually drove in, which I don't know if I would do that again just because of the snowy roads and stuff. Like,
yeah, it's kind of sketchy.
We just kind of got lucky that there wasn't snow. Like, if there was snow, I don't know what we would have done.
Yeah. It would have been sketchy.
Yeah.
We had a Jeep, though.
Yeah.
Which is kind of comforting.
Yeah.
But either way, basically, Tomorrowland Winter, like when we arrived there, we basically were in like the dopest. Yeah. Thanks, bro. My throat's like really hurting.
Hey,
thanks, Richard.
Clutch.
Basically.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thanks. So, oh no, the kitty's in here. Kitty.
Whatever.
Akbar. He's like Shredder. Akbar.
It's too late. He's in here now.
Okay,
Anyway.
we got a studio cat now. So anyways, when we arrived to Tomorrowland Winter, it was like the most beautiful scenery I've ever seen in my entire life. Like literally the mountains and everything were just absolutely insane. And like we were just driving through this winter wonderland that basically like I didn't even know that like that beautiful of mountains and stuff existed. Like I couldn't even believe it. Like it was absolutely nuts. Like all the pictures and everything that we'd seen like didn't even do it justice. Like,
yeah,
it was
not at all. Because
crazy.
they didn't really do a lot of advertising or pictures or really like explaining what exactly was going to happen with the festival.
Because it was the first year that they've ever done it.
And a lot of people were like saying, oh, this is going to be like Fire Festival and it's going to suck. But they super under-promised and over-delivered to the max. I mean, like there was so much stuff that was like, wow, that's so cool. I can't believe they did that. You know, I love it when festivals are like that. When
that's what Tomorrowland always does.
Of unexpected, cool little things that are just very thought out and well planned and well executed.
Yeah, exactly. And basically, like Tomorrowland's stages. So the way that Tomorrowland Winter worked is during the day, you had snowboarding and skiing, like during the morning and day. And normally the ski slope is only open until like 4 p.m. because then it starts to get dark and they shut everything down because you can't like ski and snowboard in the dark. But what they had was they had all these little stages on the mountains. So you could literally like ski and snowboard and then you'd just like run into this little area where there'd be a stage and a DJ playing on the mountain.
Yeah.
Like it was nuts. You could literally just go party on the mountain during the day. And then during the nighttime, they would open up the main festival area and you could just go in and dance and whatever. And it was really cold typically, but then later on in the night, they would open up the other stages that were closed and covered, and it was really hot in there. And like honestly, it was like so hot that you could like take your shirt off. Like it was really hot.
Yeah, the funniest part for me was like every day my thought process was like, okay, I just got to make it till the last set at the main stage and then I'm good. Like I would be so cold right before we were about to go into that Freedom stage, except for the last day. The first day I was like super cold. I definitely underestimated how cold I would be.
And the second day you did too. Because remember the second day was the day that it like blizzarded.
Yeah, but that was just because I got like wet, you know?
Yeah, the second day was amazing. It literally like dumped snow.
Yeah.
It was
like,
insane.
It was like worth it. Like the snow is so beautiful that like made up for being like cold and kind of wet. But like,
if it wouldn't have snowed, it wouldn't have felt the same. Like it was Tomorrowland Winter for a reason. And like,
and everyone was expecting it and no one was complaining about it. Like it's one thing if it rains at a music festival, it's like, this sucks. But then you're a single person be like, it's snowing. Like that's what's expected to happen.
Yeah, we're in the mountains in the snow.
And like when the lasers and lights reflected off all the snow, it was just like so pretty. You're just looking at like this beautiful backdrop. Well, I mean, you couldn't really ever see the mountains at night, but you could see it. You could kind of the last night, but it was just really cool and different because normally music festivals are kind of at like a random field or something, but this is like
this was in like
the middle
of
a
beautiful
little
setting,
mountainous town. It was so cool.
Okay, so let's talk about the logistics. So basically, this town that it was in only has enough capacity to hold so many people, right? Because it's literally like this little ski town.
Because it's like Alpe d'Huez is the main village. That's where the main stage was. That's where
the main festival area was.
That's where the festival area was. And then branched from Alpe d'Huez was all these other little villages, and that's where we were staying in one of the small villages where they only have a couple like places to stay and maybe like one or two restaurants versus Alpe d'Huez has like a grocery store and it's like more of a
town.
city.
It's like more of like the major city, and then all the other little places are like
the
villages.
suburbs. Yeah.
But the unfortunate thing for us was we were in the farthest away village.
Yeah.
Which meant that if we wanted to go to the main area, we had to take ski lifts. We had to take like 4 different ski lifts.
Which honestly, I didn't mind. Like, I enjoyed taking the lifts. It was just a bus. So anyway, keep going.
No, you're right. Like, in the beginning, we were like, this freaking sucks. We're so far away. This is annoying. Like, especially the first night with the gathering.
Yeah.
We got fucked over on the gathering. Like, let's be honest. Next year, they need to fix that 100% because the gathering is like the first night where everyone gets to party and everything on Thursday night before the main festival happens, and it's always at like one stage.
I think the thought of it was cool. Like, oh, we'll have each village have their own. But it's not fair when the main village gets Armin van Buren and we get some guy that no one even knows.
Dave Lambert.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Dave Lambert is, like, well-known, but it was, like, it was at the small little stage. There's no, like, lasers or anything. Like,
Yeah,
it was
and
just,
then
like,
their
small
gatherings
stage
using,
production.
like, the second to coolest stage there. So, but...
Yeah. So, basically, it was, like, all of our friends were at the main area, and they're like, come to this stage. And we're like, we can't.
Yeah.
Because literally on the first night, there was no shuttles to the main area, and they shut down the ski lifts. So there's no way to get to the main area, which I think next year they'll probably fix that.
Yeah.
But this year, it was the first year, and like they just didn't. And I think the reason why is because they were probably having airport shuttles. They were probably using the buses as airport shuttles.
That's definitely why.
And so they didn't have enough buses to get people from the main area to the other villages. So.
Because also, our village had like one bus stop, but I heard on the Facebook group I read that I think it was actually Larry. His shuttle came in late, like 10 o'clock at night on the first day into Alpe d'Huez, the main village, and there's only one stop. He said he had to drag his luggage through the snow, like 15 minutes of walking.
Yeah, I heard about that.
If you had like 2 suitcases, that would suck.
Yeah, I heard about that. And like Alpe d'Huez is like a pretty big
And he said
little town.
the main tourist area was closed when he got there, so he had no clue where his accommodation was. And he basically just had to go. He said he had to go on the like the Find My Friends thing and basically just try to locate via pin on a GPS. And like, some people don't have service there. Could have been bad. That was one of the few things that they kind of messed up on.
Yeah,
but
they need to have like 24
for a first year.
On the first day, they need to have like a 24/7 service counter and all that stuff.
They're doing better than Ultra.
They are doing better than Ultra, that's for sure. But basically, yeah, like originally we thought that being in the faraway village was like the worst thing, but it ended up being really cool. But I still think next year we probably won't stay in the faraway village. We already like did
because
it.
It was kind of like a little retreat. Like you go to the festival and there's tons of people and it's like wild and crazy. Then you come back there and it's like just kind of quiet. You never have to wait for any of the lifts. They're usually not too lifts are.
And if you've been to any other music festival where there's like hotels and camping, basically the equivalent was we were staying in the hotels and everyone in Alpe d'Huez was doing camping. So like if you were talking about Tomorrowland Belgium, like we were in the hotels that you have to get a shuttle and it's like annoying. And every night you go back to your room. And everyone staying in Alpe d'Huez was in like easy tents or like relax rooms or whatever. It was like very different. It wasn't like it wasn't so hard to get there. And the shuttles at night took like an hour and a half to get back to our village, which just explains. It was like an hour.
It was like an hour. It was like the last night. It was only like 45 minutes. But the day it was pouring down snow. It was like an hour and 45 minutes.
Jeez, I'm glad I fell asleep that
Yeah,
night.
you fell asleep like almost every time.
Yeah, the very last night I didn't fall asleep, so that's good. But I'm like the king of falling asleep after music
and they
festivals.
also conveniently had the time wrong on every single clock, so you couldn't tell how long you were actually in there.
Nice. But yeah, it was awesome. The last night was really good up until the Garden of Madness when so this is the other thing. They definitely had a shortage of DJs.
For
because basically they had a shortage of DJs because you could just tell that they were repeating DJs like over the amount of different sets and everything. Like they basically had Claptone play like 3 times.
Honestly, we were fine with.
We were cool
with
because we like Claptone and we missed him the first times, but it was like, and it was easy to miss DJs because they're like playing on the mountain. So if you didn't like get up to the mountain in time,
you really had to plan it out. It's not just like, oh, maybe we can get to the last minute. Like it's gonna take you at least 30 minutes to get to wherever you're going.
Yeah,
Depending
you
on
had
if
to plan
you
out
catch
your day.
the lift right.
And so it was kind of nice actually because they would kind of herd everybody. So like during the day, it's like only the mountain stages were open, and then like at night, like the main stage was open, but not the Garden of Madness. And then after the main stage was over, then Garden of Madness. It was annoying because like if you didn't like whoever was playing at the Orangery or the main stage, it's like you didn't have another option except for the Moose Bar. And the Moose Bar was the worst music ever. It was like traditional Belgian and like French music. It was like terrible. It was literally like the worst music ever. It was like it was just so bad.
That was so funny, that one Snapchat with the horn.
And they had a horn.
Yeah, like a car horn. And they just be like, wah, 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 and just start honking it. And it was so loud.
It was the worst. Yeah, it was really, really, really.
It
really
was
bad.
like, if you've been to Bonnaroo, it was like the Jake and Snake Christmas bar.
Yeah, it's
But worse.
it was cringy and weird. But anyways, the Moose Bar apparently is like a staple in Belgium. Like they actually have a real Moose Bar. Didn't even know that. But anyways, it's also Moose Bar is also a stage at Tomorrowland Summer, so they like brought that stage over. Makes sense, but it's more for like actual Belgians, and we were not vibing it. But anyways, the craziest thing, I think the most memorable set was that Claptone set on the mountain.
That one, and honestly, Martin Garrix's set with all the fireworks. And
that was on the last day. The last day was like the best day,
and then
which is rarely true. Like I feel like a lot of music festivals, like the second day or the first day is like the best.
Well, also it was weird because it went to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday were the 3 main days. So it wasn't on a weekend.
Which never happens. But I think the reason why they did that is because
they knew it'd be cheaper.
They knew it'd be cheaper for them to rent the whole thing, and they knew that they couldn't
when
rent
you're
out
renting out an entire mountain.
And a city. Like, there was a lot of people on the mountain that weren't there for the festival. Like, there was a lot of people skiing and stuff that weren't for the festival. Granted, most of the people were there for the festival, but, like, a lot of people weren't there necessarily for the festival. They were just normal, like, skiers.
Yeah, that's how it felt in our village. It felt like...
It's like 50-50 in our village, probably. And it also was weird because at normal Tomorrowland, like, you can only pay for everything with pearls. And, like, in our village, like, it was still normal money. So, like, you couldn't pay with your wristband.
Pearls are the Tomorrowland currency. They have, like, basically their own currency. You have to top them up. It's pretty...
You can only pay with your wristband, which is really cool and convenient if you're, like, snowboarding and skiing and you want, like, a drink. Like, you just tap your wristband. But, like, on the mountain even, like, at some of the stages, like, they were still, like, cash only. They didn't accept pearls.
Yeah.
So it's just like, well, what are we supposed to do? I didn't bring cash. I thought I loaded up my wristband. Like, it's just kind of annoying.
Then you end up like Scott with a bunch of extra money because we're thinking
they just need to be more clear about that next year, because they basically explain to you like the only way to buy anything on the mountain is through pearls. Yeah, and then it's like not really.
Yeah,
but yeah. So explain explain that in McCorum stage.
Yeah, that was so they basically had. What was that, on the last day?
Yeah.
One of the stages in the mountain was called the Amicorum stage, and it was kind of taken from Tomorrowland last year, 2 years ago, I guess, 2017. And it was like circus themed, and it was so cool. It was just like right in the middle of the mountain. You look out, it's just a huge mountain range. Sometimes it was kind of cloudy, so like sometimes you could see it, sometimes you couldn't. But Claptone was just playing and everybody's just hanging out, having a good time. And then these circus performers started coming out, and there was a guy like breathing these huge, I guess,
balls of fire.
Yeah, balls of fire. It was
a fire breather.
Yeah, and then they had like these.
They would like swallow this liquid and like spit it out in like a flame thing, and it would make like a giant fireball from their mouths. It was nuts. Yeah. They had like dancers and all this stuff on a mountain in the Swiss, in the French Alps. You're in the French Alps on a mountain. It's super cold. Everyone's drinking and having fun, and there's like a lodge there, so we just got food, and it was really good food. And then we were just like watching Claptone, like one of our favorite DJs, like on a mountain, with these fire breathers. Like, what is life?
Yeah,
it was like
madness.
It was just one of those moments where you just look around and you're like, what is this? Like, what is happening right now? It was just like the most absurd situation. Like we every 5 minutes we were like, dude, is this even real? Mm-hmm. Like, it was just so nuts. And also, like, me and Matthew aren't the best snowboarders, but we were snowboarding, like, some pretty sick. Like, if we were better, it would have been more fun, I think.
Yeah.
Like, so if you're honestly, like, not planning on snowboarding, like, you can still do the festival, but it's just going to be, like, you're not going to get the full experience, I feel like.
And it was nice because, like, you know, you don't even want to stay up all night because, like, okay, we got to get up tomorrow and go snowboarding. It's like normally at festivals, the morning's just like, let's just sit around all day and drink and wait for the festival. Versus,
honestly, next year I want to do the 7-day.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
I want to do the 7-day pass.
Because I kind of felt like we didn't seize the snowboard. Like, we were in this beautiful place and we didn't snowboard that much. You know, we didn't, like, get to seize the opportunity as much. And it was mainly because the first day was just kind of a waste. Like, they advertised it as a 4-day package, but we didn't do anything the first day, so...
Yeah, that's very true.
And even if we would have done the shuttle, we wouldn't have gotten there on time anyway. So, like...
Yeah. And also...
checked in.
Yeah, and the first day, though, the first day that we did the ski lesson, though, we did a lot of snowboarding that day, though. We got a lot of snowboarding.
And that was good that we got the lesson.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird, because then the second day, I was like, I almost forgot how to snowboard again.
Yeah. Well, you were even saying that even after the snowboard lesson was over. You were like, I already kind of forget.
Yeah.
You just got to get that feel.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. But if you're into snowboarding and skiing and you like electronic dance music, then Tomorrowland Winter is like the best festival on planet Earth. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was one of the most it was one of the most unique things I've ever done in my life, and it was like literally the most beautiful place I've ever been to.
Yeah.
It was insane.
And a lot of people were like, "Oh man, how can you afford to do that? It's like so expensive." And honestly, our flight was $420. And how much was the festival?
I don't remember. We bought it so long ago.
Yeah.
But we had a chalet. We had a chalet and we had, 5 people in it?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was like 6 or 7. So, I mean, and that included this. No, it didn't include snowboard rental.
But the snowboard rental was what, like $100 or something?
Yeah. So, I mean, like, you're easily going to spend that going to EDC Vegas or anything like that. So,
yeah.
And it's doable.
It's definitely doable, for sure. And then before our trip, we were like, basically when we bought our plane tickets, we're like, we're going to buy a 2-week trip. We're going to go to Tomorrowland Winter, and then we're going to take a week because we're already over there. It's kind of a waste to like fly all the way over to Europe.
I feel like we always do that. We're always like, it's like, it's good to go to Tomorrowland because it's like a good reason to go over there, and then we end up always going to some cool other place.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just like a buy one, get one free because going to the other place doesn't really ever cost that much more.
Yeah, it doesn't even make a dent, you know?
Yeah.
So anyways.
Doesn't make a dent.
Bags. So basically we were racking our brains because it was literally like a week before we went on this trip. And we're like, dude, what are we going to do for this second week? Like, we literally were like, this second week, we don't have anything planned for our trip. And we have a flight home in and out of Amsterdam, but we didn't like know where we were going to go.
And I was just kind of like, dude, you know, I was thinking we should go to Dubai. And you were like, I was thinking that same thing too. I was like, let's just do it.
How much were our tickets?
I think like
500.
I think like 400 again, 450,
something like that. Yeah, because I think our total, because I bought both the tickets on my credit card, I think the total was like 1,000.
Yeah.
So basically, it was like 500 round trip, and we flew Emirates.
Yeah. Also, we could have. There was one that was like 100 cheaper or 150 cheaper on Transavia, but like we're both just like we've seen like Casey Neistat video. I've heard like Emirates is the coolest airline, and it was. And I've always wanted to fly on the A380, which is a double-decker airplane, which is like...
the largest... It's not the largest airplane in the world, but it's the largest commercial airline.
Passenger jet. Yeah. Which is sweet. Like, that airplane was so much quieter. Like, the cabin, I could just talk to you normally. I feel like in other airplanes, it's like, shh, and you can...
Yeah.
Sorry for people with headphones on. I probably
R.I.P. to the headphone users.
Yeah, sorry.
But...
Yeah,
it's like more like a Rolls Royce. Like it's more elegant and
like when you hit turbulence, it's just kind of like
floating, like a Lexus. Yeah, you're just floating in the sky on this giant.
It's not like that tiny flight we had to Lyon where it's literally like bang bang.
Dude, we had some crazy turbulence.
That was the worst I think I've ever had turbulence.
Yeah, for sure. The flight attendants are like almost like floating. That was the sickest tiny airline though. They gave us sandwiches for like a 1 hour flight.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that? Like normally on a 1 hour flight, they give you like pretzels. They gave us like a full on sandwich.
Yeah, the airplane was like a two by two seat, probably only like 14 or 15 rows.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it just starts hitting like terrible turbulence. And the pilot's like, flight attendants, please take your seats. And meanwhile, we're just like bouncing up and down on
this dude is like trying to drink his coffee and it's like spilling all over him. And it was so bad. But I was like half asleep. Like I was literally asleep. We just done like a full day of traveling. So we had 2 flights.
Yeah, I didn't know we were getting the sandwich. And I woke up to super bad turbulence and there's just a sandwich in front of me. I'm like,
I thought you gave me the sandwich. I thought you were awake and asked the guy to give me a sandwich because I woke up with a sandwich.
No, neither of us were awake. We both just got sandwiches put on our tables.
That's amazing, dude. I figured that you were awake when they were handing out the sandwiches.
No,
like,
I was
give
asleep.
One to my brother.
Because
normally if you're asleep, they skip you.
Yeah.
Dude, which is so lame, by the way. Like, if you're... Dude, I saw this lady on a plane. It was a picture on the internet, and it was like a lady that had a sign on her like hanging around her neck. It was like, yes, I'm asleep, but wake me up if there's snacks or meals. I want everything or something like that. It was like...
I need one of those signs.
I know, right? It was genius because it's like, dude, I'm not waking up for anything unless you're giving me food, dog. Like, I want that food.
Because every time it's international flight, I'm like, should I go to bed? What if I miss the food? Like,
I don't want to miss out on food. And then you like see the flight attendants like start to get the food together. You're like, damn, I got to stay awake for at least another like 20 minutes to get this food. So
and then I got to wait for him to come pick it up.
I guess I'll play some Pac-Man.
Yeah. How clutch was that? Dude. On the Emirates flight, they had a remote controller and you could play like so many throwback games like Pac-Man, Peggle, Angry Birds.
No, there wasn't Angry Birds on that one. It was on the Delta flight with Angry Birds.
Oh.
But because it wasn't but on the Emirates flight, it was so dope. You could see the camera angles from the flight. Like on your little screen in front of you, you could choose to view the view from the bottom of the plane, the nose of the plane, or the tail of the plane looking down onto the plane. So you could literally get a view of what was happening in real time on your little screen. Because honestly, the windows, if you were on top of the wing, you couldn't see anything because the wings were so massive that you couldn't see anything at all.
Yeah, the first time you looked out the window and saw the wing, you're like, dude,
the wing takes up the whole field of view. Like, I literally couldn't see anything but the wing.
Yeah.
Like, normally, at least if you're sitting on the wing, you can kind of like peek over like more to the left or right and at least see some of the ground. The wing was so big, I couldn't see any of the ground. Like, it was literally that big. I could only see the horizon and, like, the sky.
Yeah.
It was nuts. But
that was the most enjoyable flight.
Yeah,
for sure,
dude.
I've ever been on.
7-hour flight, didn't even feel bad. It was great. Power in the seats, like, the little remote control thing was sick. You could even make international calls from your seat if you wanted to pay.
And, like, the controller also doubled as a phone. And you could call other seats on the plane. It was so cool.
Yeah, so if there was like another seat you wanted to call them, you could just dial like 36A and like call the other seat. It was crazy.
Yeah, and for those of you that haven't seen like any of the videos on the Emirates first class stuff, look it up. It's nuts. You get like a whole entire mini room to yourself.
It's like an apartment
on the airplane.
Plane.
And so like the plane is 2 stories and upstairs is like the business and first class. And then on the bottom's all economy. So
yeah,
we weren't that bougie, but
we were just in economy. But that economy was like first class on other flights.
Yeah, that would be like the economy comfort on Delta.
Yeah,
honestly, it was better than that.
Yeah, because we actually got upgraded on our flight to Amsterdam. Remember, we had like stupid legroom.
Yeah, but that was KLM.
Still though, like we had stupid legroom. Like I couldn't even touch the wall if I wanted to.
That's always clutch.
Yeah. So, anyways, we flew to Dubai, and we got there and it was raining, which was like super weird.
Yeah.
Because like normally you think like Dubai is a desert, but it was raining, and Dubai is insane. Like the most safe I've ever felt in a major city.
It felt like a giant 5-star hotel.
The whole city just feels like a giant 5-star hotel. Like literally, they polish the streets at night and stuff. Like literally, the sidewalks were like triple
They're like
wide.
nicer than my countertop, than the granite you see on people's countertops.
Dude, they were like marble sidewalks and shit, and they were like shiny. It was insane. We stayed in like the downtown area near the Dubai Mall, and like, dude, that's the biggest mall in the world.
Was insane.
Dubai And like it seems like Dubai and like all of those like countries, like the United Arab Emirates and stuff, like they all want to have like the claim to fame of like the biggest and best of everything. They're like, it's the only 7-star hotel in the world. We've got the largest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa. We've got the largest Ferrari logo in the world is on this building. That? We've got the largest water park in the world. We've got the most Bugattis in the world. We've got the largest blah blah blah.
I feel like
everywhere you went, it wasn't like you couldn't get that somewhere else in the world, but it was just like the largest and the biggest and the baddest and like it was just nuts.
I feel like if Drew Gooden or Danny Gonzalez ever went to Dubai, they need to do like a video just mocking all the times. They're like, we have the biggest this or that. I feel like that would be hilarious.
We have the longest toenails. Like literally it was just like the freaking, they would always talk about their records of everything. But it was just like really crazy and cool because it's like we got to be in the tallest building in the world. Like, yeah, because like, really cool.
Let's be honest. When we were both flying to Dubai, like neither of us really had that much time to even think about what it would be like. But like on the flight there, I was kind of just like, okay, what's this going to be like? Like I've never been to a country in the Middle East.
Also, I've never been to a Muslim country before.
Yeah, like, you know, Darius was telling us like, yeah, make sure you guys read the rules. And like alcohol is like only served in hotels.
But when we got there, our Uber driver, we were asking him like, what are the do's and don'ts? Like, what should we do? And he's like, my friend, don't worry. Dubai is most free. It is amazing. He's like, you say it.
That was the best introduction to Dubai ever.
It was the best. He's like, you think the law is this? But no, you can do anything. You cannot drink on the street, but you can drink. You can go to a store and you can buy beer. You think alcohol is illegal, but you can go to a store and buy beer. Like he was basically, he's like, but don't flirt with the women on the street. Like it's like really illegal, like and very frowned upon.
Yeah, like public display of affection is illegal, even if it's your wife.
Yeah, like a ton of things are illegal, but it just seems like they're not really that enforced apparently. But like in the rest of the United Arab Emirates, like I think it is.
Yeah,
but
like
in Dubai,
you were saying in Abu Dhabi, it's much stricter.
Yeah, but in like Dubai, it's like 20% of people like are actually from Dubai, and the rest are all like immigrants and stuff. Like most people are from other places, so like the culture is not really like the Arab culture anymore. It's not really like that strictly Muslim, but like you still see a lot of the influence. Like and like the fees for everything there.
Yeah,
like
that was interesting.
There's like cameras on every single stoplight, and like in the highway, like there's cameras everywhere.
There's a speed trap, I kid you not.
Every 50 meters.
Yeah.
There was a speed trap every 50 meters.
And our cab driver was telling us, so...
Like, it's almost impossible to be an Uber driver there because you're just constantly getting all these fees.
Yeah, like, he was saying that if you're in the very left lane and you even drive on the yellow line, they give you a fine for that.
There's like a sensor.
Yeah.
They can literally tell if you if you drive on the yellow line to the left of like where like close to the median.
And they have like a lookup system where you just type in your plate and it tells you all the fines. And he said like most of them have it on their Google Assistant, and then they'll just be driving Uber and then all of a sudden just ding and they have a new fine.
Literally, it's like Big Brother. Like all of a sudden you just have like a fine pop up on your phone.
Yeah, and you have to pay it or your car gets impounded.
And like the one guy was like, "Oh, my uncle is going to kill me if he finds out I have not paid my fine." He's like an Uber driver. He's like, "My uncle can see it because he can type in my plate." And
he's like, "So I have to pay them instantly so he doesn't see it.
Because my uncle will kill me. He never has a ticket and I have so many tickets." But I'm like, dude, you're an Uber driver. Like you have way more opportunities to get tickets. Like, that's why you have so many tickets. But like we went to so many sick places. We went to like the Dubai Mall is like amazing just to walk around and see everything.
And we had a lot of time there.
We had a whole week there.
Yeah,
like,
7 days.
It was pretty nuts.
Like
we went to the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world.
Dubai Mall, which is like the biggest mall in the world.
Now we sound like freaking Dubai people.
Yeah.
We went to the biggest in the world. We went to the Atlantis, which is like...
But seriously though, the Dubai Mall is crazy.
The Dubai Mall is insane.
5 stories. If you... Like it's like the maximum at one time, it's like 3, ever at one time. But like on one end of the mall, there's like one more.
And it had like every type of store. Like it had everything from like dollar store, like shitty like electronic stores, to like the most expensive stores in the world. Like stores I'd never even heard of that were like crazy designer brands.
They had like different Louis stores for different.
There was like the Louis Vuitton jewelry store. Then like inside of like, didn't they have like a Bloomingdale's? or something
Yeah.
like that. Like they had like the Louis Vuitton section in the department store. Then they had like the Louis Vuitton bag store. Then they
Yeah.
had the Louis Vuitton clothing store.
It was like
Then
all
they had the
different.
Louis Vuitton shoe store.
Yeah, let's talk about that place.
Dude, the shoe place in the
That was
Dubai
nuts.
Mall was the craziest shoe place ever. It's called Levels, and it had the most luxury shoes I've ever seen in my life. Like
It basically had like a mini store of every single designer shoe
it was like a
brand
department
inside
store.
the store.
It was like a department store, but only for shoes.
Yeah.
So like one section was like Balenciaga shoes. One section was like Maison Margiela shoes. One section was like Louboutin or however you say it. And like then they had like a whole like high heel section for women.
Like one section
Then they
was
had,
all
like,
off-white.
One like all off-white shoes. One section was all Adidas. One was Y3. One was Nike. Like it was insane.
Like every single shoe brand I could
Vegas.
ever think of was there.
Sorry, not Vega. Veja, I think it's called. Like all these crazy shoes, and like dude, and like right now there's like that stupid trend of all these like ugly dad shoes. Dude, we saw some of the ugliest, like the Maison Margielas that literally
They literally have hot
they're
glue.
hot glued together and they have dirt on them. Like they literally look like something.
It looked like somebody got a lighter and just held it up to it.
It looks like
in
a
multiple
pair
spots.
of Skechers that has been worn for like 10 years by a homeless guy that he hot glued to a pair of Heelys. That's what
Yeah.
it looks like. And it's literally like $5,000 for this pair of shitty
I'm pretty
shoes.
sure there were more than that.
Dude, it was stupid.
Yeah.
Like literally, if you buy those, just go away. Like dumbest waste of money. But at the same time, it's like a spectacle. It's like literally they're basically trolling us at this point. Like they could literally just release anything. Like they could probably make a shoe that looks like a turd. Like literally a mold of a piece of poop, and people would buy it.
Yeah.
Like they literally would at this point. Like it's just so, like people are just all trying to outdo each other. And Dubai has just like so much money, and people just go there to shop
And outdo each other. It's like
It's just
like
clout chasing.
Vegas, but even more extra.
Yeah,
Like it's-
Vegas at least
Vegas
has like a shitty area.
areas. Like there's no
Dubai-
bad areas in Dubai.
Well, there's like
there
the
probably is,
old
but
city.
we didn't really.
Go to the old city. We were like in downtown area in like JBR, which is like Jumeirah Beach residence area, and like the Palm area. Like it was just nuts. And like the other thing is, when like I'm a crazy car guy, I thought that Dubai, like every car was gonna be insane there. It was like pretty crazy, but like it wasn't so crazy to the point where like we were seeing Bugattis everywhere and like Paganis and Koenigsegg's. Like we saw Bugattis, but like only in like showrooms. Like we didn't see anything. Like we did see like in the wild, we saw a couple of crazy
There wasn't
cars.
anything I haven't seen in Atlanta on the road.
Yeah. I think I'd say that's probably true. I think there might have been a couple of cars. Like, didn't we see an SLS Gullwing on the road? I'm pretty sure I saw one of those on the road. I don't think I've ever saw one of those in real life. Like I've seen them in real life, but not on the road. Like at a car show, or like in Miami or something. But like there's areas of Buckhead where you could probably see a lot of the same cars that we saw.
Yeah.
But there was just like a lot of Ferraris and Lamborghinis, like a lot of Lamborghini Huracans, a lot of Lamborghini Urus, a lot of Uruses, which I haven't seen in Atlanta. But honestly, like I haven't been around Atlanta that much this year, and like the Urus like just came out, so like that's just one of those things. And we saw a few like Rolls Royce Cullinans, which I haven't seen.
Yeah, lots of Rolls Royces.
Tons of Rolls Royces.
You don't really see Rolls Royces that often here.
Yeah, tons of Rolls Royce Cullinans, tons of Rolls Royce Phantoms and Ghosts.
A lot of Bentleys too.
Tons of Bentleys, lots of Bentley Bentegas, which are pretty sick. But yeah, we went to that one car place, which was nuts.
Yeah, that was insane.
2 Koenigsegg's, 2 McLaren P1s,
SLR McLaren,
2 SLM McLarens, 2 SLS AMG Gullwings, 2 Bugatti
sick-
Veyrons.
That sick van.
That van that like was like a private jet. Like the Mansory Bugatti Veyron, a Mansory.
What was that one car
Phantom.
that was like a one of one?
The
and then
Pininfarina Rolls Royce.
Oh, and that Lamborghini that was under the cover.
Dude, they had a Lamborghini Veneno Roadster under a cover, so we didn't get to see it, but it definitely was that. Because it was under a Lamborghini cover, and it was shaped exactly like it. It has such a distinctive shape. Like, there was no way it wasn't that. but it was under a cover, so we didn't get to see it. But, whew, dang, that was nuts.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but so what else do we do in
2
Dubai?
Koenigsegg's, like that's nutty. Like
Yeah.
2 Koenigsegg's in one place. Like you never see Koenigsegg's. Like in America, there's like only a handful in California, and that's about it. And like we saw 2 in the same place. I mean, we've seen 5 at Goodwood last year, but still, like at one dealership.
They had 2.
Yeah, so nuts. But yeah, Dubai was lit. Dude, my throat hurts so bad right now. Can you talk?
Yeah, sure. So the other days,
I also have to pee. Can you go?
yeah.
Okay, Matthew's gonna talk about Dubai. I'm gonna pee.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Story Time with Matthew in Dubai.
Podcast.
Yeah, forget all these signs. It's the Matthew Deitsch podcast now. So the first day in Dubai, or really the first tour we actually did was this desert safari. And at first I thought it was going to be kind of touristy, and it kind of was, but it ended up being sweet. Like, they basically picked us up at our hotel in like a big off-road 4x4 thing with, I think it was like 3 or 4 other people in there with us. And 2 of them were pretty cool. They were like some Australians, but they were all like older people. There wasn't really any young people like us, but they drove us like 35 minutes, and then all of a sudden we were in the middle of this desert, and we just started driving super fast. And well, first they had to stop and like let the air out of the tires, because when you're driving through the desert, if your tires are fully inflated, it doesn't go down very well. But yes, and then we just started like driving through all these mountains of sand in the desert, and that was sweet. Then we stopped a couple times to like take pictures. We actually got some pretty sick pictures there. Andrew took a dope one of me like kicking some sand. It's on my Instagram if you want to see it.
some tea real fast. Hold up.
Some tea.
Yo, Rich.
But then after we did the dune crashing, they took us back to this like home-based village thing where me and Andrew got to ride a camel. And Andrew, what do you think of the camel ride?
Dude, the camel ride was pretty lame. It was kind of cool because we rode a camel. It was cool just to say that you rode a camel, but like it was kind of cheesy. Like,
yeah,
literally, it was just like, oh, dude,
we rode it around a circle.
There was a family reunion.
Oh my god!
That was like the cringiest thing of all time. Was these Americans, and like they were just being so loud and obnoxious, and they were like, "Oh, we about to ride a camel, yo!" And it was just like, "Oh my gosh, shut up!" Like it was
and like
so
the one
cringy.
lady, they were all wearing matching shirts.
Dude, I wanted them to fall off the camel so bad, because literally it was just like. You were being the cringiest Americans right now. Just like, oh shit, we about to ride a camel. And they were literally all like doing selfies on the camel. Like,
yeah.
I'm on a camel, bitch. Like, it was so bad.
And then the camel would buck and they'd be like, oh.
Yeah, it was just like so freaking cringy. Yeah. But basically, it was kind of, it was like a super tourist trap sort of deal where like it seems like everyone would do this. But it was actually kind of cool.
But it was still fun. Like, there's a reason why everybody wants to do it, you know? It's obviously something cool.
Yeah.
But after the camel ride, then they took us... We all went inside for this... They said they were going to serve us a traditional meal. And the food was actually pretty good, but unfortunately, me and Andrew thought that the appetizer was the main course. So...
We went back for seconds.
And I ate, like, so much of it. And then by the
it's
time...
basically like all bread.
And then, like, after we went back the second time, the guy was like, this isn't... there's a main course.
No, he said something about, like, you're not going to have room for dinner. And Matthew was like, yeah, we were hungry. And he didn't understand what he said. And then as I walked away, I was processing it. I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure that there's another course.
Yeah, and at this point, I was, like, wolfing down this pita thing because I was starving.
Yeah.
And then they're like, dinner has been served. And then... we got...
Oh, dude, I forgot to tell you this. So John Wiesenberg, he went and did the same thing.
Yeah, you told me about this.
Dude, one of the meats was camel meat. Did you know that?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Which one?
He said it was the middle one. I mean, I don't know. They might have changed the order by the time he went there a few years ago.
No, one was chicken, and then the other two were lamb sausage. I remember what they were. There's multiple tours that do it.
I don't know, but he said one of them was camel. And he said it didn't taste good.
Maybe it was the sausage then. It had to have been because the other one was lamb shank and the other one was chicken for sure.
Yeah, I think
Would
the
have had to have been the
was
sausage.
camel. Because it didn't taste like anything I'd had before.
Yeah, sausage was gross.
Yeah, I think I tried camel.
I don't think they tell you it's camel though. Because remember I asked, I remember asking, he's just like, it's like a sausage.
Yeah, it's probably camel.
They probably don't tell you because like they want people to try it and then they tell you afterward, but...
Yeah. Also, they have camel racing in Dubai. We literally drove past a camel racing place. And they had these like statues of camels. It was sick.
Yeah, and there's like a camel market where they like trade and buy and sell camels.
Yeah, like racing camels and like literally we saw
camels
like all these
are cool.
Camels are pretty cool. But they're kind of mean, I think. They like spit at you and stuff. But yeah, we rode a camel. We got to eat that like traditional stuff. We watched like a weird belly dancing thing. And
which is kind of strange because like for the culture there, they're like pretty against outwardly exposure. And then there's just like, I don't know.
Half naked chick doing belly dancing. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get that either. But I think it's like like the combining of certain cultures. Like, I don't know. I didn't ask questions. But basically, that was like one of the coolest things we did. And the next day we went and did the jet skis, right?
That was legendary.
Yeah. So jet skiing in Dubai Marina, literally like next to like these crazy skyscrapers and stuff in the ocean. Or it's in the bay. Like it's like not really the ocean.
It's in the Persian Gulf.
Yeah, it's the Gulf. So it's like there's still waves and they're big waves. But it's not like the ocean.
It's like,
ocean.
Yeah, it was really choppy. And
Really
it was actually
choppy.
my first time on a jet ski. And I
Matthew
was
was
driving the first
first.
time. And I didn't realize that the seat had like a hump in the back of it.
So you could like lean into it?
Yeah, like I was just like holding on with only my, like using all my muscles and not like using the seat against me because I was like, I didn't have a good look at the jet ski. And then like our guide just like took off. It was just us and this guy from South Africa. And he was just like hauling on the jet ski. And I'm like, I got to keep up with this dude. And like, it was my first time driving it. And the trigger was pretty sensitive. And it was pretty choppy.
And we didn't know about the like riser
Yeah, the trim.
thing. The trim thing. So basically it was like, you can raise it up so that the jet ski's at like a higher angle.
Yeah, and after like 5 minutes, my arms were so tired from holding on because I was basically like pulling myself forward because I thought if I just like let myself go, I'd fall off the back when I hit a wave and my arms would just come off. I didn't realize there was like a hump like 5 inches behind me that I could have been using. So like it killed my arms after like 5 minutes and I was just like so tired.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much it beats you up. Like
yeah.
You'd think it'd just be like sitting down on a motorcycle, like cruising along, but it's not like
on
that
a lake,
at all.
it's much different because lakes are really smooth and jet skis are really fun on a lake. But like this, it was a different kind of fun because you could like hit the jumps like of the waves and like freaking get massive air. One time we did a jump and Matthew like crushed his nuts.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. but we actually got a sick GoPro video of our guy. He like held the camera and I like drove around and did some like crazy stuff and I like splashed him with the
it was like perfect
jet ski and he was like,
oh, now it's on. And then he just started like mauling, like literally for 5 minutes.
We had a massive like splash war with our like jet ski guy.
And the funny thing was, like you would never think that would happen from a jet ski rental company that your guide. He was the coolest guide ever.
Yeah, he was sick. He was literally just messing with us the whole time.
Yeah, if you're ever in Dubai and you want
and he was like, oh, you won't fall off. And then at the end, he was like, man, that was sad that you didn't fall off.
Yeah, like, he was telling, like, we stopped for a minute and I was like, how do I make it so like I'm not so like tired and I can like use less of my muscles and just ride? And he's like, what, are you scared you're gonna fall off? Why are you being a wimp about it? You won't fall off. Like,
yeah.
And he was just, I think, trying to get in my head, like convincing me that I wouldn't
He wouldn't fall off, but he
thought
wanted
it would
you
go
to
crazy,
fall
but he
off.
wanted us to fall off.
Yeah, because it's funny to him. I mean, he's like the instructor. It's like probably the highlight of his day when stupid people fall off the jet ski.
Yeah.
But we were actually good. We never fell off. But the other thing about jet skis is when you're riding by yourself, you can stand up and like absorb the shock
It's hard
way
to do
more.
with two people.
It's hard to do with two people. We were riding on the same one because it was cheaper.
And also,
I mean, like,
when I was driving, Andrew kept being like, dude, speed up, come on, dude, and was like criticizing my driving. And it's like, why are you letting off so quick? Come on. And then once he got on, I was like, I wasn't worried about it because I'm like, you'll see once you start driving it. And then sure enough, there was one time when you totally let off, and I thought I was gonna like fall in front of it. But luckily, I don't think like jet skis don't have a prop, so it's not.
No, they don't have a prop. They're not that super dangerous because that as long as you're wearing the wrist strap thing. Dude, I watched a video the other day actually of a guy that fell off a jet ski and he wasn't wearing the wrist strap and it went onto the land and crashed into a house. It was so funny. It literally just goes up the shore and like crashes into a house because people are like, oh no, that jet ski, oh my gosh. And you just hear it going like, blah, 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 because it's like on the land and it just crashed into a house. It's so funny because literally when you let off the gas, like it still goes, like kind of like a car. It has like a creep, like it still goes.
Not in that choppy water though.
Not in the choppy water, but like on smooth lake.
It slowed down so quick on that choppy water.
That's true. But yeah, that was like one of the best things we did. And then we just walked around the like JBR area and like looked at cool cars for a while. And then we like went to that like, what's up? Thanks, Richard.
I got that orange citrus.
Ooh.
Deliciousness.
Oh my gosh, look at the color of this tea. It's like wine.
Where's mine?
You want one too? You want that same one?
Sure.
I'm not fucking give me 2 minutes.
Dude, thanks, bro. Dude, my voice is hurting so bad.
Mine is too for some reason. I think it's the pollen because I've been
Maybe.
outside all day.
Yeah, my throat's just hella dry.
Anyway.
So anyways, we went and like we explored that like downtown area that was like on the edge of the beach. That was pretty cool. What else did we do in Dubai? We went to that beach club. That was cool. On the last one of the last days, we went to this like all inclusive brunch like
that
day
would just
club.
be such a fun place to go with your friends. Oh
Yeah,
my
it kind of
gosh.
sucked because it was just the two of us and we didn't really
Yeah.
like meet anyone there. But the people watching at that place was
That
out of
was-
this world.
Okay, so you gotta tell the story about the giant douche.
Yeah. Dude, there was this guy there. He was wearing like Versace underwear as his bathing suit. Just like imagine like the douchiest pair of Versace underwear you could buy with like the Versace logo on the crotch and like these these golden like floral things all over him. And like his girlfriend with like giant fake boobs and like the biggest fake lips in the world, like and like super long blonde hair extensions. Just the fakest looking couple you could ever imagine. It was basically like, I don't know what they were. Maybe they're Australians or something.
Yeah.
But they were like Australian Guidos. Like this dude was like jacked out of his mind. Like he looked like he was on steroids probably.
Oh, and
He was wearing like the douchiest sunglasses you can imagine too. Like those giant Gucci black aviators almost, but they're like thick rimmed. Like they're just so bad. And he was just walking around with this little fake girl on his arm. And I was just looking at them like,
how can that be a reality?
Imagine thinking you look cool right now. Like imagine thinking you're walking around thinking you look sick right now. And you look like the biggest tool I've ever seen. Like it was so funny. And he was like super tan, like the darkest shade of tan you could be. Like definitely tanning booth. What shoes was he wearing? Flip-flops?
I thought he was wearing some Balenciagas.
He was wearing black, like all black shoes. I think he was wearing black, the shoes with the spikes on them. I think. Was it those?
Yeah.
I think it was the shoes with the spikes on them. The Louboutins or whatever. They
It was
were like
just lame.
Oh my gosh.
So
He
we
was
saw this guy at the day club, And then the next day when we were at the water park,
We saw him
we
again.
ran into the same 4 people again.
And he was wearing the same exact bathing suit.
Yeah,
by
like
way.
the same exact outfit. It was hilarious.
And I think he was also wearing a gold chain.
Yeah. That dude was cool. We should have been his friend.
I know, I should have gotten his number. Oh my gosh. I'm dying.
Don't die of pink
Oh
eye.
my gosh. Yeah, I have pink eye too. Dude, we never talked about Montezuma's revenge after EDC Mexico.
What about it?
Just that we had it.
Yeah, we did.
We mentioned it casually, but we didn't explain in detail.
I don't think your listeners want to know.
I don't know, man. I think they want to know. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so Dubai, on the last day, we... let's talk about our Airbnb.
Oh, yeah.
And,
So, you know,
how it
on
smelled
Instagram,
like a diaper.
it looks all glorious and glam.
It was cool. It was like one of the dopest Airbnbs.
And-
Super well equipped. There was like a supermarket right underneath. So convenient.
Yeah, fun little tip for everyone listening. If you're ever booking an Airbnb and you're booking, like almost always, if you're booking a week or a couple days before you're going to get there, you can almost always negotiate a deal with the owner. Just find like 3 or 4 properties that you'd be okay with staying for and just send them all an offer. And I guarantee you one of them is going to give you 25% off. Like this guy, this is Airbnb.
Because it's like 2 or 3 days before. They're probably not going to get it. But like it's probably just going to be empty and they're not going to make anything.
So this Airbnb was like kind of out of our price range, but it was really cool, right in downtown Dubai. So like I shot him a message. I was
Sick
like,
view.
hey, since I'm staying for 7 nights, can I get a 25% discount? And sure enough, they were like, yep. And then I booked it right away. And yeah, so.
How much was it? Like 500 for like 6 nights or something?
Yeah, like
So
all the
cheap.
hotels were at least 150 a night. So it's like ended up being like 80, I think like 85 a night or something. No, I don't know.
I don't know. But
Something like that. But
we ended up having to stay in a hotel our last night. But as the days went on in our Airbnb, it smelled worse and worse.
Yeah.
Like every day we got back, we literally were like, okay, it's going to smell like a diaper as soon as we open this door. And then we, of course, would just get used to the smell of how bad it was, like the more we just stayed in the room. But every time we opened the door, it smelled like a mixture of like mildew and like baby poop. Like it was so
it was-
disgusting. It was so gross. And we could never figure it out, but I think it was the air conditioning. Like I think it was like moldy.
I'm
or,
kind
like,
of glad
something
we stayed in that
died
hotel the last day because like it
was
just gave us a
perfect.
new place.
The hotel on the last night was bomb. Like it was super comfy. Like
The bed wasn't very comfy.
I only slept 30 minutes anyways, but yeah, stupid. But the Airbnb was clutch, but smelled bad.
Well, see, the hotel didn't have like a kitchen.
That's the thing. We
Or
needed the
washer
kitchen.
and dryer, like
we didn't spend that much. Like we spent a lot of money in Dubai, but like not a crazy amount. Like
Yeah.
we spent like a decent amount on
We
all
also
the fun
saved
stuff.
a ton. Like we probably did. Some days we didn't even eat out. We would just eat food at our Airbnb that we bought
Make
from the grocery
sandwiches
store.
or whatever. Dude,
Yeah.
that kebab place the last night.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so if you guys in America like don't know what kebab is, it's basically like they have this giant like
Skewer.
skewer of all this like sliced meat.
Don't know what kebab is.
No, but like kebab, like
You're a
like
kebab.
like good kebab, dude. Like
Thanks,
there's
dude.
people that don't know.
You the man.
But basically, like there was this doner kebab place across the street from our last hotel. Yeah, we
This
got
is good.
yeah, this is super dank. Thanks, Richard. You're the man. And literally, this place had the best kebab, like doner kebab things that I've ever had in my life. They were like German classic or something like that. But it was like the equivalent of like an amazing burger.
Yeah.
But it was in kebab form in like a pita thing with like sesame seeds
Yeah.
on it with like this amazing sauce.
Like we were literally sitting there like, this is the best thing.
Like honestly, we had like a lot of really good meals the whole time. We went to this like crazy buffet, that all-inclusive day club. We didn't even really talk about that, but like you had like all the different. It was all inclusive, so you pay one price, you get a buffet of like all this amazing.
One thing
food,
I've noticed about
drinks.
Europe is when in like
It's not Europe.
I know. Well, we did go to some in Europe, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like in the United States, usually when you pay for a buffet, it's usually not that good. But I've noticed out of the country, it's or at least the places I've been so
yeah.
far, the buffets are always really good.
That Chinese buffet we went to is really good in France.
Chinese buffet was really good. I feel like we went to a buffet in Budapest.
Oh, yeet. If you haven't listened to our last podcast that we did, it was episode 100.
That buffet was so
we
good.
talked about that place, and holy shit, that was one of the best.
Right?
meals
Like, we
I've
haven't
ever
been
had.
to a bad buffet outside of America so
That's
far.
true. That's
Just
true. That's
saying.
true. That's true.
Just saying.
That's true. That's true.
America, step up your buffet game.
That's true. That's true. Hey. That's true.
Hey, CC's. Step it up.
I've been to some bad buffet breakfasts before, but
Yeah.
either way, done math.
They're usually free, though.
Yeah, a lot of times. So, basically, what I'm trying to say is, so, we went to the buffet in Dubai. That was the day club, and that was really good. But this doner kebab was still the best, like honestly, the best meal.
Yeah.
The last night we were at this new hotel, and we went to I was like, hey, there's a kebab place across the street. So we just went there, and I literally devoured my first one, and I was like, that was the best meal. And we went to another place that was like almost as good in the Dubai Mall.
Yeah.
And we went there twice.
We thought that place was amazing.
We went there twice
Until
because
we
it was
had-
so good. And then we had the next place, and we had that one, and I was just blown out of this world. I had to get another one because I was just like, this is like the best thing I've ever had in my life. I'm like not even that hungry, but I just want to have this flavor in my mouth again.
Yeah.
Like it was just so good.
There was like some mac sauce on it or something.
It was like, yeah, it was like Thousand Island dressing kind of
It was
flavor.
like a Big Mac on crack.
Yeah, it was like the flavor of a high quality Big Mac.
Yeah, like all the crappy ingredients. Imagine if you made a Big Mac like
With high
good.
quality ingredients.
Yeah, without.
And kebab meat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was like chicken shawarma, like meat with, oh my gosh, it was just so good.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Anyways, I gave that place like the best Google review ever. I gave him a 5-star and I wrote like a paragraph. I was like, I've had fair share of kebab in my day, but this is the best damn kebab I've ever had in my life. I devoured the whole thing in about 5 minutes and went back for seconds. I would have shared a picture in here, but I ate it so fast. Like literally. But I really, really can't recommend that place highly enough, but probably I don't even remember the. It was just called Doner Kebab, like
Yeah.
nothing special. But yeah, what else did we do in Dubai? I feel like
Water
we're missing
park.
a whole day.
Water park.
Water park. Yeah, it was really cold that day actually, which is stupid because everything you ever hear about Dubai is that it's so hot, but like it was literally cold the day we went to the water park.
We were there at like the best time.
Yeah, the weather was amazing in Dubai. Oh my gosh. Like one of the days we were just walking and we were like, this is like the best weather I've ever felt in my life.
Yeah, it was like
a nice breeze.
it was like
sunny.
72, breezy, and like humid.
You could wear like anything. You could wear a sweatshirt. You could wear a short sleeve shirt. Like didn't matter. Done that. And like it was just amazing.
Yeah, Dubai is something else. Like
It
you
felt
can
like
go.
the whole place felt like a dream.
Yeah, it also felt, for the amount of skyscrapers and stuff, it felt a little empty.
Yeah. Like a lot of places were like very empty.
Actually, I think the Jumeirah beach area seemed more congested, like the traffic and stuff. Like downtown Dubai, we never hit any traffic.
But there was construction 24/7. Like
Yeah,
always so much construction.
it's the same company.
Yeah, MR. They own everything in Dubai, it seems like. At least downtown. Like, there's literally signs for this company called MR. EMAAR. On every freaking building. It was like, you looked everywhere and it was all MR. You're like, if you didn't know better, you'd think the whole town was called MR.
Yeah.
Like, literally, every building was called MR. Oh, yeah, we went to Abu Dhabi that day. That's what we did. I was missing a day. I'm like, what did we do? Yeah, we went to Abu Dhabi. Oh, yeah, we also didn't talk about the Mall of the Emirates where they have freaking Ski Dubai. They have an indoor ski resort with penguins.
Yeah. That's just like the most Dubai thing ever. Like, hey, let's build a ski resort inside of a mall. Oh, yeah, let's get some penguins in there, too.
Also, this mall is in the desert.
Yeah.
Like literally,
Those
what
poor
the heck?
penguins, dude. They can't have a good life.
Nah. They're living in a cooler.
Yeah.
They're living in an igloo cooler. They're living in a Yeti cooler.
Yeah, I hope they at least hook them up with a Yeti, you know?
I hope they hook them up with some dank fish.
Yeah. Give them a nice tumbler.
Yeah, but anyways, we went to Abu Dhabi. We went to go see this like amazing mosque. It was like what, the 7th largest mosque in the world or something?
Yeah.
I was like, it's the largest mosque in the world.
Yeah, Andrew's on Instagram like storying. He's like, we're about to go into the largest mosque in the world. I'm like, dude, this isn't the largest mosque.
And then I was like, oh yeah,
Cause
that was dumb.
yeah. Hey guys, we're in Mecca.
Yeah, cause hey guy, this isn't the largest mosque, cause we're not in Mecca. But anyways, actually, like that'd be hilarious if the largest mosque
Yeah, what
wasn't
if it's
in
not?
Mecca. But either way, like it
I don't
wasn't the
know.
largest mosque. But it was still really, really big, and it was still really cool. They had like that was another thing they bragged about. The largest carpet in the world was in this
And the largest glass chandelier.
And the largest glass chandelier. With like 17 million Swarovski crystals.
Yeah, or whatever.
17 million Swarovski crystals.
Or as
Oh, yeah.
Andrew would like to say, the world's largest butt plug.
Yep, pretty much. Looked like a butt plug. But it was the world's largest butt plug. But they also had the what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, our tour guide. He was really funny. He was just like every time he would call us my dear guests, but he had like such a thick accent. It sounded like he was saying Madigas. He was like Madigas. He'd be like, all right, Madigas. So we're gonna be moving along. All right, Madigas. Like, but he was saying my dear guest, but he was all right, Madigas. We're gonna move along. You get to feel free to take a picture.
Yeah, and he was we'd stop like every 3 minutes, and he'd like make sure that we took a picture. Like, did you take your picture here?
And he would also make sure that we didn't have any questions. He's like, don't hesitate to ask any questions. Are you sure you don't? Are you sure you don't have any questions? Are you sure you don't have any questions? Did I answer every single question that you had? But he was cool though. Like he was very thorough.
Yeah,
very
I liked
knowledgeable. He was really nice. His name is Riz. He's like Rizwan, but we call him Riz. But yeah, that was really cool too because he just like picked us up at our hotel in a bus and then just drove us to Abu Dhabi, gave us a tour of the mosque, and then drove us back to our hotel.
Yeah, that was exactly what we wanted because an Uber was going to cost more, and I didn't really care about anything else in Abu Dhabi.
And we wouldn't have gotten a tour.
Yeah.
Like he knew everything.
Yeah.
And he like skipped the line for us for like everything. He like knew everybody.
He was like Kentucky.
Yeah, he was like Kentucky. He knew everybody. He would just like help us skip the line everywhere. Yeah, that was sick. But yeah, that was pretty much our Dubai trip. Anything
and then
else?
we took one 8-hour and one 9-hour flight home, and that day was
Terrible.
very long.
Literally the whole day we ate nothing but airplane food except for Shake Shack in the morning.
Yeah. Just as bad, just as greasy.
Yeah, literally. Oh no, we had McDonald's in the airport as well.
Yeah, because the Amsterdam airport doesn't have any restaurant you've ever heard of except for McDonald's, and everything is like $25, and I'm just like...
Not paying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was stupid. But basically that whole day we just ate like the crappiest food for like 24 hours straight. And then on the way home, like my body was just like the whole day just like super just constipated, I guess. I don't know. And then I think like my body, as soon as it like knew I was back home, was just like, all right, time to go to the bathroom. And like the drive home halfway through, I was just like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the bathroom so bad, guys. And they're like, just wait till we get home. And I'm
my
just
mom
like,
was
I was
driving,
literally like
so
clenching. I was literally like clenching my butt. I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, drive faster. My mom picked us up from MARTA. And I'm like, guys, please. Guys, please drive faster. And my mom was like leisurely driving. I'm like, go faster.
Yeah, she's going like at the speed limit.
I was about to poop my
She's like,
pants.
I'm not gonna speed.
I was literally about to. She's like, if I get a ticket, you're paying it. And I'm like, I don't care, go. Like literally, I was like, I thought I was gonna poop my pants, and I was like, if we get a ticket, I'm pooping on the side of the road. Like literally, I thought I was gonna poop my pants. Like it was like the most. It was the most like,
Imagine if we
sudden.
would have gotten pulled over by a cop. As soon as the car stops, you just run out the door and just take a dump on the side of the road.
I'd probably get a ticket
Yeah,
for
you
that
probably
too.
would.
Indecent exposure
You
and
should
whatever.
just be like, officer, can you just give me the ticket instead of my mom? Because I was the one yelling at her to speed because I had to go.
Ossifer, Please let me poop. But anyways, so that was basically the end of our.
And now you have pink eye.
And now I have pink eye. Maybe it's from that poop. I don't know. But either way, yeah, I think I was just super run down. Like, I didn't get any sleep for like 28 hours, basically. Like, I did, but it was just so bad. And like, I was on a plane, and I was just jet lagged this whole week. And then I woke up on like Tuesday or Wednesday morning with pink eye in my one eye. And then the next day, it was like getting way better. So I'm like, okay, cool. It's probably just going to go away. And then the next morning, I wake up and it's in my freaking other eye.
Yeah, it was bad. Thing wasn't even opening.
It was, but it was just, I would just wanted to keep it closed. It's not good.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, so now it's in my other eye, but in the first eye that it was initially in is like totally fine, and now it's in the other eye, so. But it's honestly better. Yesterday was the worst day. I like couldn't see out of it and stuff. It was pretty terrible. But today it's like much better. Honestly, it hasn't even been bothering me. I think it's just like inflamed, and it'll probably just be gone by tomorrow. But hopefully it'll be gone by tomorrow. But let's talk about all the like misconceptions, dude. Because I think like a lot of people, I mean, I know for you, for example, like people at your work and people that are texting you and all this stuff all the time are just like, how do you travel so much? Oh my gosh, you're so lucky. What do you do? Oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. Like, what's the secret, bro? Because
so like I work at a country club, and it's almost like annoying. Not annoying. I don't know like how to like. There's no way to like tell our trip without it coming off as just being like
the dopest trip
you can't play it off as like I just took a little trip. But I've also done
like,
this
I took a little ski trip.
Yeah, like so there's this one guy who's like a huge skier, like total ski nerd. He like goes every winter for like a month, and he's like, Matt, where you been? And I'm like, just took a little trip. He's like, oh, where'd you go? And I go, I took a little ski trip. And he's like, oh, nice, where? Colorado? And like, probably expecting me to say like North Carolina or something. I'm like, the French Alps. And he's like, no way. Where? And I was like, this place called Alpe d'Huez. And he's like, oh, I've heard of that place. And I was like, yeah, it has the Pic Blanc, like the highest peak in Europe. And he's like, yeah, the 11-mile run, right? And he's like asking me all about it. And he's like, so did you do it? And I was like, no, I'm not. It's only my second time ever snowboarding. And here I am, like, this guy's like a total snowboard nerd or like ski connoisseur.
And that's like on his bucket list. And you're like,
And he's like telling me how he's been wanting to go there for a long time. And I'm just like, yeah, I didn't even do like the best run because I couldn't.
Yeah, pretty much. But next year we'll do it.
Yeah, because also like...
It's literally, like, so for people listening, it's an 11-mile ski run.
Yeah.
Just like you
I watched a YouTube video of a guy doing it in like, I don't think it's 11 miles. Is it?
I think it's like 11 or 14 miles or something.
I think
crazy.
The first half is like shorter because I watched some guy did a YouTube video of him and he did it in, I think it was like 7 minutes. So it must have only been a part of it because he started at the top, but he did it in like 7 minutes. This guy was hauling on the skis. Like people would get in his way and he would just yeet like right around him. It was crazy.
Because a mile a minute would be like 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
Yeah, it'd have to be like 6 or 7. That's what I thought the video said in the beginning. So
okay, maybe it is. But either
I don't
way,
think you could go 60 on a ski though.
No, unless you're like an Olympic skier that's like doing the like crazy shit. But even then, they're probably going like 50 or 40. I don't know. I could be wrong. They might be going like
the
80,
crazy like jumper
guys.
guys that go off those huge ramps and then they.
I have no idea how fast they're going. I probably sound dumb. But either way, but continue with the guy's story.
Yeah, so he was just like nerding out about it, and it's just like I've come to the realization that it's just like I don't like if people aren't into the trip, like I don't even really want to like explain it sometimes too, because you just like
sound like a douche.
Yeah, and that's like I feel like a lot of people think like, oh, how do you travel? It's so expensive and all this type of stuff, but there's just like so many ways you can travel on the cheap. Like granted, like we travel pretty cheap, but we could even do it like cheaper than
we could do like couch surfing.
Yeah, like Tom, shout out Raving Tom, like when he travels, he does not care how, I remember him saying like, I don't care how long it takes me to get there. I just want the cheapest options. Like he'll just take a bus if it's possible to take a bus in that certain situation, like there's always going to be a way you can do it. Like just checking airline websites regularly. Like we found our flight to Amsterdam for only $420. How fitting for Amsterdam.
And we didn't even do any.
Yeah, we didn't even get out in Amsterdam.
We didn't even smoke or go do anything in Amsterdam.
First tip, like if you're going to Europe, I guess, just get a ticket to wherever is the cheapest place to go, and boom, you got a new city you can explore. And then once you're there, getting around is much cheaper.
And be flexible with your dates, because like if you if you have like a regular job and you can only get off like Friday to Sunday of like a week, Friday through a whole week, and then you have to be back on Sunday.
Which even
that kind of sucks. But like
that's even fine. But just look and say, like, okay, which week is the cheapest to go? Yeah. And sometimes Delta will have like specific deals, like to this place, this time period. Or recently, what I've kind of gotten more into is like the miles game and like frequent flyer points and stuff like that. Versus like me and Andrew are going to go to Tomorrowland this summer, and I got him to sign up for a credit card. Same one I signed up for is like the Delta one. You get 75,000 miles for signing up, and we just booked our flights to Belgium, and it was only 50,000. So we still have 20,000 left over, and it literally cost us nothing. The flight, if I wanted to buy it in cash, was like $950. So I mean, right there, free $950. Like there's always ways you can get around and like get cheap stuff.
Yeah, and basically like the thing is especially with music festivals, because me and Matthew and I, we've done a lot of electronic music festivals, and we've been like arguably to like the best ones in the world, So it's like now to us, like a lot of like the littler ones are just like, not to sound like a douche, but like they're just not that cool. Like it's just not that exciting. Like if it was your first music festival and you're going to like a little local festival or something, it'd probably be really fun and really cool for you. But like we've kind of done like the best of the best. So like
now it's like if we have if a ton of our friends are going.
If you owned a Ferrari for like 3 years and then like your next car was like a Mustang, you'd be like, this thing's a piece of crap. But if like a Mustang was like your first car, you'd be like stoked out of your mind to be driving a Mustang, right? So it's like now that we've gone to like some of the best in the world, it's really hard to like go back to like a local like kind of shitty festival with like, just like a normal thing and like still have that much fun. So like honestly, it kind of works in our favor because now we just like don't really care. Like all of, it's like we don't have that FOMO of like, oh man, the Imagine's happening in Atlanta, we're not even going. It's like I don't even care because my money is like better spent on like a bigger, badder trip, and it's like everything is a trade-off, right? It's like, would you rather go to like 10 local shows? Like, in Atlanta, there's like an EDM show like every weekend, like on Friday and Saturday nights now. Like there's plenty of clubs.
Yeah, if you're buying a ticket to that and buying
it's one thing if you're like a promoter and like you can get tickets for free and all that, you live that life, like fine. But like there's a lot of people that go to a lot of those shows and they spend like, upwards of like $100 a weekend at least to go to these shows and stuff. Because if you think about parking or Uber, and then you're drinking or, doing drugs or, whatever. Maybe you're going sober too. Like, that's awesome, whatever. But a lot of people drink. A lot of people are, they're paying for a ticket. Some people even do the VIP thing, bottle service. Like, you can just go all out with that stuff. And it's like your money just goes a long way.
And there's nothing wrong with doing that.
No, like I've gone to local shows. Like local shows are fun, but like I only am going to go if it's someone that I like really, really want to see. And like also it's at the point now where like the music festival is like we've kind of seen everyone that we want to see. You know what I mean? Like there's not really anyone that's like touring that we haven't gotten a chance to see. So it's like, oh wow, Rez is coming to Atlanta. It's like I've seen her like 10 times before. So it's like it's not that special. But like if I can see Rez at like EDC Mexico with like the crazy sound system and like it's like a crazier experience and we're in Mexico. It's like a cool. It's just like, would you rather see Claptone on a mountain?
I think too, like this is more directed at people that maybe go to like. I guess what our point is like
we have a lot of friends that bitch at us and they're like, dude, you have all this money, and then like right now they're at Ultra Music Festival in Miami, and it's like you're spending the same money. Like Ultra Music Festival is very expensive, and it's just like it's a high tier festival, but it's just like you've done it like 5 times now. Like save your money and go to Tomorrowland
if you want to.
Yeah,
I'm saying I'm like basically I was saying my like final point would just be like, if you want to travel more and do more like crazy stuff, look at where you're spending your money now. Because like right now, I mean, we don't really go out that much on weekends. Like we just kind of stay in, work.
On weekends I work. Like I take enjoyment in like
Big chunks.
In big chungus, yeah. Big chungus. I take much enjoyment in that. No, but
I love a good big chungus.
yeah. I like flying in big chungus. But that's our name for the A380, Big Chungus. But basically, if you like to talk to tomatoes, I'm getting delirious. If you are constantly like looking at other people like traveling and stuff like that, you got to examine your own hobbies and where your own money is going. Like if you're going out every weekend and you're smoking weed and you're buying alcohol and you're, got expensive hobbies, maybe you're like really into your car and you have tons of upgrades and mods on your car and stuff. It's like,
I just got the sickest air intakes on the side of my Acura. They're like fully adhesive, so they don't actually do anything.
You have from Walmart?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? It's just all a trade-off. It's like, if you're really into like other stuff and you don't care about traveling and like going to Tomorrowland or anything like that, like, cool, like spend your money on like the stuff that makes you happy. But like if you have that, like, you're like, oh man, I really want to go, it's on my bucket list, whatever. If it's truly on your bucket list and you're truly living your life, like tomorrow would be your last day, would you be happy with like the life that you've already like lived? That's like my philosophy. It's like, I don't want to, if I like died tomorrow, like honestly I'd feel like I lived like a pretty like awesome life so far. Like I have this like podcast that'll kind of like live on. I have a lot of people that would be like really sad that I was gone. Like I have a lot of really awesome friends. Like I'd leave somewhat of like a little bit of a legacy. You know what I mean? Like I would kind of like live on a little bit. And like I've gotten to like meet a lot of people all around the world. Like that's really dope. And like having friends in different countries, like that's like honestly like irreplaceable.
Yeah.
You can't just pay for that. You can't, like that's an experience that you have to have. And the way I look at it is like once I'm like in my 30s and like maybe I'm married and maybe I have kids, like I won't be able to do this kind of stuff anymore. Like I won't be able to just like fly to a random country and make a friend in like Germany or something. Like it's like the only time in my life where I can do this kind of stuff and like have these types of experiences. Like later on, if I'm like married and have kids and stuff, like I'll have other amazing experiences. But like this is the time of my life where I can only really have these type of experiences. And so like I just feel like if I don't, I'm like my future self will be like annoyed that I didn't like take the opportunity. That's just how I like feel about it. And even though like I don't have a lot of people would look at my bank account right now and be like, bro, you're like broke, you've been spending all your money on traveling and stuff. And it's like, it's true, I have been, and like the past few months we've been doing a lot. But at the same time, like I think that these experiences are, like it's what makes this podcast kind of like interesting. And like I get to, when we're older, like we're brothers, like when we're older, it's gonna be cool to be like, hey, Uncle Matthew, my dad was telling me about the time when you and Andrew went to Dubai and rode jet skis. It's gonna be crazy. Like those memories are like, irreplaceable. People can take your possessions and people can take your money, but like what's the point of just having
your experiences?
Yeah, what's the point of having just a bunch of hoarded up money? Like people live for that type of shit, like that's the reason why people want to be rich, is so they can go and travel the world. And it's like if you can travel the world when you're young and broke, like
figure out how to do it and do it.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna want to stay.
This is the only time
I'm not gonna want to stay in a diaper Airbnb when I'm 50.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I'm gonna be like crotchety.
This is the only time you can travel on the cheap. Like when you're older, you can't. You're gonna get. You're a weirdo if you stay in the hostel. Remember that dude in London? Yeah, he's like 50 years old, walking around in his whitey tighties. It's like
saggy.
This girl's like, like,
yeah,
don't be that guy.
Get a hotel room, bro. And
don't be 50-year-old man in the hostel.
Don't be the 50-year-old saggy tighty whitey man. Do it. Be the 25-year-old saggy tighty whitey man.
Be the 25-year-old douchebag in the Versace underwear.
That is exactly right. I feel like that's a good place to wrap things up, honestly. Matthew, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, you guys should go listen to my podcast, the Matthew Deitsch podcast.
It's a segment inside of the Andrew Deitsch podcast.
Yeah.
It's like Joe's Teeny Weeny podcast on David Dobrik's podcast. You ever listen to that podcast?
No.
Big shout out to David Dobrik. He has a podcast called Views Podcast, and their producer, Joe, instead of paying him money to edit their podcast, they let him have a 25-second podcast inside of their podcast, and that's how they pay him, and it's called Joe's Teeny Weeny Podcast, and it's so stupid. It's so funny. And anyways, I enjoy that podcast, so go listen to it. But anything else to plug? Any social media where they can follow you or anything?
Yeah. Instagram is m_Deitsch. If you don't know how to spell it, look at how this episode's spelled.
That is a good
yeah, I think the best thing to leave it on is just like people can take your possessions, they can take your freedom, but you know, they can't take what's in your head.
I was going to say something messed up. I think that's all we have. Thanks for listening, everybody. And thanks for being on the show, bro.
Stay heated.
And well, I guess we'll.
Oh, why did I just touch you? You got pink eye.
We'll see you on the next one after our next amazing.
When I have pink eye.
Yeah, well, Matthew will have pink eye, and we'll probably after the Tomorrowland summer, we'll probably do another podcast talking all about our next trip. So we'll see you later, everybody. Boom, there we go. Thank you for listening, everybody, and watching. If you're watching the YouTube video, thanks for watching. If you want to check out more of my brother, you can follow him on social media and all that kind of stuff. Also, go back and listen to his other episodes of the podcast. He's been on episode 51, 67, and 100. So if you're into me and my brother chatting it up, go listen to those older episodes. I know you'll enjoy them just as much. Also, thank you to Eyes Ahead Media for producing this episode. Can't thank them enough. Go check out their website if you are in need of long-term video strategy and content, all that kind of good stuff. But thank you guys so much for watching. New episodes will be coming every Monday, consistent uploading. I'm committing to it. I'm very, very excited about that. But if you enjoyed this episode, please share it on your Instagram story. It's one of the things that I ask. I used to ask about iTunes, and I just realized that like iTunes and Apple Podcasts, yeah, it's important, but at the same time, the best way for people to find this podcast is through word of mouth and just by you guys sharing it. So if you guys want to share it on your Instagram story, it's one of the best ways. If you're in Spotify, you can directly share to an Instagram story from the episode, which is kind of cool. But that's pretty much it. Follow me on all my social platforms at andrewdeitsch.com. You can find all the links there. But that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Boom. Boom.
That was my impersonation of you doing the outro. And boom, there we have it, guys.
There we have it. Thanks for listening.
Thanks,
everybody.
Matthew, for being on episode 108.